this thing, that thing, the other thing.
You're doing a kick-ass job at silence, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, well. Well, howdy!
Morning!
Welcome back, everyone. Let the silliness commence, I guess.
Yep. I hear we're doing Nibiru.
Yes, indeed we are. Because we couldn't find anything sillier for today. So that's...
Oh, well.
That's what we've got. All right.
Well, as long as we've got something, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. That is the case.
Well, you know, if the world is supposed to end tomorrow because of this massive planet crashing into us, that, you know, I've been looking in the sky for years and I've no signs. So, wow, this is going to be a spectacular apocalypse.
So you're saying,
honestly,
you do not have complete faith in the existence of this Nibiru smashing into Earth sometime tomorrow. You're not real firm on believing that, is what you're saying.
Well, you know, I'm not real firm. It's more of a squishy, undecided.
Yeah, because of course, huge fuck off planets can travel at faster than light speeds.
Indeed.
Well, of course, especially when they're dark.
Of course.
Oh, that's perfect.
You see, here's the thing.
Where's Dev when you need a good of course?
It's the work schedule. He is unfortunately has changed. He'll be back in. He's looking forward to it. And,
of course,
aren't we all?
Oh yes, we will.
Of course,
have a special Return of Dev show. But
hey, that'll be fun. I haven't met this guy actually. All right. Anyway,
Dev's great.
No, Dev is awesome.
Yes. See, here's the thing. If Nibiru was close enough to be running into us sometime tomorrow, we should be able to go outside and see it in great detail.
One would imagine.
Just walk out the front door, look up, and it should be right there.
Well, unless we're in the new Nibiru cycle. If it's a new Nibiru, then its shadow will be casted in and around us. We shouldn't be able to see it. So maybe it's a new Nibiru.
It's possible. I suppose.
Well, there's you know, it could be. We could have that, or we could have an object that has an albedo that doesn't actually reflect light.
Well, look, isn't it? Let's just get right down to. Isn't Nibiru like magic anyway? Like it can just appear.
Yep, NASA magic no less.
There's no real
NASA magic no less.
There's no real science to that. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the rules. When something just frighteningly stupid comes up, yell drink. We'll stop the shoe, and you get to say your say. Try not to talk over each other. And what fun we shall have. If you can. And remember, we have the addition that you can yell click if you want.
This should be used in cases of arguments from ignorance.
Right. Somebody want to give it a test run?
Of course.
All
click.
Right.
You don't know Jack.
There we go.
There you go. It does work. We have it working.
System functional. Okay. Now,
absolutely, we must have function in the system.
Our first feature film from the wonderful world of YouTube is, and I'm reading this verbatim. I'm not making this up. NASA confirm 23th September 2017 when planet, all in caps, X, Nibiru, all in caps, arrives, will convert Earth to an ice ball, all in caps, by our friends over at Latest Technology. Yeah, really. Problem solved.
Absolutely.
All right.
Actually, I think, Fino, that the Klingons are due to show up on Monday because nobody's looking forward to that. They're going to come in. They're going to come in and bust shit up on Monday because, well, they're going to be at least that considerate, which is, I think, much more considerate than Yahweh has ever been. They want us to at least enjoy our weekend before they come and kill us all. That would be good. I'd appreciate that.
That's most kind. I would agree. All right. Here.
So considerate.
Let us get started, and we'll see how NASA confirmed 23 September. Here we go. Y'all know the rules. Here we go.
23.
Drink.
What? Did you call drink? Did you call drink already, Hill?
Yep, I did.
Go ahead.
Preemptive. I'm just going to give a nice preemptive. That's not how cameras work.
Okay,
you can continue.
All right, we shall. In fact,
if you would slide the volume knob just a little bit left.
Already did.
It might just be the intro.
Let's see how this.
This shit is loud.
Let's see how it is.
Latest technology, huh?
The BIOS, all that. I truly believe that this is so intricately related, more than people
Drink. It was just the intro that was at ridiculous volume.
Yeah.
realize. And so when I heard you sharing, I was very excited in my spirit, and I knew that I had to have you come on the program and share with everyone.
Okay, you're up.
Drake, first off, you're excited in the spirit, then you have to have somebody. Would that qualify as a sexual emergency?
Up. We have. Hey, Rhetoric Discourse. Cool. Rhetoric Discourse, welcome.
I see a kitty cat.
Welcome, Rhetoric.
Are you familiar with our foolishness here?
Or is his microphone on? I don't think his microphone's on yet.
Perhaps not. We cannot hear you.
Perhaps, like a feline, he's preparing to pounce on the stupid.
That is possible. That is possible. All right, Rhetoric, I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear you yet. So, hopefully we shall
get it worked
soon.
out.
I'm
He
sure
probably
he
has
shall.
the same sort of audio issues that I had the first time I turned up.
All right. Very good. Well, let us continue then, and very good. Here we go.
And you just share with us.
Oh, there you go. Now we can hear you. Are you familiar with our foolishness here and how things go?
I've watched you guys a few times.
Okay, it's not many rules. It's just when some massive stupid makes an appearance, just yell drink if you have something to say about it, and we'll stop it. You get to have your say. That's pretty much.
And then you get to have your drink.
Okay, so I have to go get a drink. That's the thing I'm missing.
Anything will do.
Do you want to watch pseudoscience? Do you want to watch pseudoscience without alcohol? I mean,
good point.
Really?
Hey, I'm watching pseudoscience with alcohol.
All right. Back to
somebody ran me out for 10 minutes last week.
All right. Wow.
I got to say, the second most important rule that we have not been doing very good on as of late. We need to respect each other when we're talking and not talk over each other.
Okay. I'm good with that.
We shall try. We shall endeavor to accomplish this task.
Indeed. What do I say every week? We shall Ethernet. We shall listen. If we hear nothing, we will proceed. When we're done speaking, we will listen to see if there's a tail end of someone else speaking. Then wait a random amount of time. All right,
and then restart the video.
Here we go.
With us, a little bit about your background and what really brought you into this stream of of researching Planet X and so forth.
Well, my search. I read an article years ago. What's up to 4 times as large as Jupiter is so controversial that many astronomers don't know much about it, and is the most high-concept conspiracy theory in existence. And of course, that was an article about Planet X.
Okay, first off, if it's 4 times the size of Jupiter, why the fuck can't we see it? How the hell are we not finding this thing?
It's one of those hide-seeky threats, like Yahweh. You were talking about that before.
The thing about Nibiru is that it would require a literal cover-up. As in order to stop people from seeing it, you would need to physically and literally
cover
their eyes with something so that they cannot look directly up.
Except that we're not spending trillions of dollars a year to send holographic transmitters to cover a planet 4 times the size of Jupiter. Pluto has not been sucked into it. The rest of the solar system isn't being perturbed. Where the hell is it? It's traveling this way faster than the speed of light.
The statement that it happens to be 4 times the size of Jupiter, its gravitational impact, even if it was nothing more than a giant ball of hydrogen, would be devastating to the entire solar system.
You could say it would be astronomical.
Anywhere near us, it would throw the orbit of every other gas giant wildly out of whack.
I just think we have we actually have a couple of those gas giants in fairly at points in the reference where they're fairly close together in terms of straight lines. So something 4 times the size of Jupiter would eat Uranus and Neptune both. Saturn would go winging off out in the far distance, and Jupiter would be headed for the sun.
And of course, just to be clear, it would completely devastate Uranus.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
We went there. We got there.
Moving on.
So, with a personal background in investigative research, when I first heard of it, the concept interested me. I realized that close to 1 million of people a month were searching.
Somebody called drink? You already? Okay.
Backyard.
You're up.
If this guy's claiming to be a scientist and stating he was intrigued by the idea of a 4x Jupiter gas giant floating around in the outer solar system, I'm guessing he has not even gotten close to thinking up an idea for his dissertation.
Is it possible that he just said the pseudo real quiet? Like pseudoscientist? No? All right.
No, I was actually listening to that. He did not say pseudo anywhere.
All right.
Atop that, I don't think he could. Honestly, I don't think he could be a scientist in any way, shape, or form, because with a statement, having made a statement like that, I doubt he could have passed the SAT.
Just okay.
Indeed.
I have heard recently from flat earthers that you can test out of PhDs nowadays, according to flat earthers. So maybe he just tested out of his PhD.
No, you have to get a PhD. You must write a thing that is significant in your field. This is not a question. You can't test out of a PhD. You could give a master's.
It's not like the SAT. You don't just get a 1300 and you're done.
No.
All right, so not optional. Okay, all right. Just FYI, everybody, it's not optional.
Well, I think he has clearly demonstrated his credentials. I mean, he read an article which had people who said things. So,
all right, I'm convinced.
Qualified.
Yeah, certainly.
Very good indeed. All right.
I mean, someone give this man an Oscar.
No.
A Nobel Peace Prize, maybe.
No, I think he's actually more up for a reverse Tony Award.
All right.
Actually, I think I'm going to give. I may actually give this guy the platinum poo this year. It's just annoying. Okay, go for it.
Here we go.
Searching for answers on Google, and I believe it was the most popular topic, and still is to date, on YouTube. So I heard an episode of the J.R. Moore National Radio Talk Show.
No.
I'm pretty sure Donkey Porn has a higher click ratio than Nibiru does.
Click.
Oh, click. You don't know Jack. All right, there you go.
Dumbass.
Dumbass.
Not the most popular topic on YouTube by a long way.
No,
nowhere near it.
No, that was movie night, wasn't it?
All right. So,
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. The Nibiru, most of the people that watch Nibiru Tard videos are folks like me who keep track of Nibiru Tards and those who are also Nibiru Tards. Okay, I've seen some videos lately where my last review, the developer, went better than anything they had to say.
Alrighty.
I just want to point something out that I did some very quick research here.
Yes.
I went to YouTube and I typed in the word Nibiru. We got 1.6 million results.
Okay.
And then I typed in the word cats, and I got about 77.4 million results. So I think we all clearly know what dominates YouTube.
Absolutely.
Okay. I got a better one for you.
Hmm? It's hard to beat cats. I mean,
yeah. I could beat cats by 2-1.
Okay.
The internet runs
video
on
games.
Huh?
Video games.
Oh, all right.
Video games produces 153 million results.
Game, and I topped you with the cats playing games.
All right. Yeah, I haven't.
I had no idea we were playing Texas Kid'em.
Video game cats results only 20.7 million results.
See, I wouldn't think that would be a big. All right, you know what? I haven't said this in a while. Moving on.
Where he had spoken with some top naval brass retired, and they'd indicated the reason they had moved to the Ozarks was for safety.
Okay, so that was a new logical fallacy. That wasn't the argument from authority. That was the argument from unknown mythical authority.
Then I ran across a video.
Now I missed exactly what he said. They moved to the Ozark for safety. For who was it and from where?
Oh, yeah, it's some high up naval people he talked to, but so it's the secret argument from authority.
I
definitely never read Where the Red Fern Grows, because if they would have, they would know that there's nothing safe about the Ozarks.
Sorry.
I dubbed this new argument of appealing to an anonymous authority the argument ad they.
I like it. Argument ad
they.
So noted, added to the record. Argument ad they. I like it.
Hey.
Here we go.
Video on YouTube, 15-minute interview with an insider, codename Arizona. He'd actually seen Planet X through the Hubble. I believe the title of the video was The Red Devil Planet Revisited. I also noted some Russian TV news programs about Planet X. And the Russians, as you know, believe the object exists, is inbound, and they built massive shelters, some of them up to 200,000 people on the side of a mountain in the Urals and throughout the country in preparation.
Drink, citation needed.
Oh, drink.
And then
Yep.
Yeah, citation, yeah.
And anything else? Oh, and did you notice, there was another argument at they just immediately before that.
Had the mysterious death.
I would speculate a relevance post-Cold War.
There was also an argumentum ad Putin.
Here we go.
Allegedly by fast-acting throat cancer of Dr. Robert Harrington, the chief astronomer of the U.S. Naval Observatory, when he was right on the verge of going public. That all added fuel to the fire. So one of the topics in which I got some straight A's in university was astronomy. I found the subject captivating. I entered a...
Okay.
I have my doubts that I have a lot of doubts that he ever did that.
I don't think he has ever taken an astronomy class in his life.
Really? But I mean,
not at a university level, not even at a high school level. It wouldn't surprise me if there are kindergartners whose parents are astronomers who know more about astronomy than this guy.
But
I would contend that I doubt he's even actually listened or looked through a telescope in his life.
No, I wouldn't think so either. Sorry about that. My modem had its nightly disease.
These things happen.
Speaking of which, SciStrike, could you do us a favor?
What favor might that be?
Could you invite Kara? I had told her a couple episodes ago that I would send her the parts and pieces of a 60mm refractor because it would do her more good than a flat earther. And, well, actually, I had said that I should send Jaren the parts and pieces, and she said it would do her more good.
Indeed.
Do you want to invite her in so that I could possibly get her contact info and actually send her the parts and pieces of a 60mm?
Actually, I already...
Refractor, telescope, not anything weird.
I don't think she's around because I sent her the link already. If she was available, she
worth a shot.
Well, she has it. She may, she's out. If she comes home, I'm sure she'll jump in. But yeah, I made sure to send her the link as well. But all right.
Just thought I'd toss that out there. I did tell her I would give her a telescope, so I'll stick by my word and make sure it gets out to her.
Well, cool. You're a man of your word.
Does she know you by the thing you're currently using, by Backyard Science, or something else?
I'm pretty sure she's aware of the 150mm beast that I'm currently working, so...
That's what she said?
All right.
Sorry, that might be a little late. But...
Okay.
No, please. That was waiting to be said through that entire exchange.
Back to Nibiru here with what is this picture, by the way, that they have up? We've got this planet in the distance. I'm guessing is Nibiru. So what's with the rock? What the hell's that?
I think that's Star Wars. I'm pretty sure that's Star Wars.
Maybe so. All right.
That was fun.
Here we go.
On a several-year-long pursuit of knowledge, and after completing my research...
Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I did have something from something you said before. So he took astronomy in university and got straight A's. Is that the grading system in universities? Like A, like stuff like that? Is that what they're doing?
Not when I was there.
No, I'm not really sure. You get a little report card with comportment, and here we go.
I wrote a book entitled Planet X: The 2017 Arrival by David Mead, and it discusses, of course, how Planet X will potentially cause extreme destruction, and the question is to what extent and how soon is this object headed to the Earth? Now, Dr. Harrington,
oh my God, this guy has never had any sort of education in astronomy or physics in any way, shape, or form. If a gas giant, let's say it was a terrestrial body, because that would be even more destructive. 4 times the size of Jupiter on an orbit where it would intersect our planet, we wouldn't have planets in the solar system anymore. We would have a binary star system. With no planets.
I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one with a telescope. Did anybody notice any perturbations of the orbits of any of the planets? No, right? I mean...
No, Saturn's still exactly where Saturn's always been.
It's where it ought to be.
When we need it to be there. It obviously is different every day, but it's calculable right where it should be. Okay. Jupiter, right where it should be. Mars is right where it should be.
Actually, guys, this has been they have been hiding this from. I have not seen the moon for at least half a month. I don't know where they have taken it or where they have put it, but they have stolen the moon. It must be Nibiru. Nibiru has messed up the moon. So it has stolen away the moon.
Gotcha.
There is no moon.
All right. See, now it all makes sense. All right.
I don't know how in the world, how does Christian philosophy come into this one when the entire tale sounds like it should be being told by someone from the Lakota Sioux.
I don't know how it seems like it just was mixed in because it was convenient to do so. And usually, I don't know if it's in this one, if they're going to get into it, but they have a little fun with the constellations as well, and shoehorning it into biblical prophecy and whatnot. We'll see.
Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If you want to do the complete conspiratard thing, you've got to have a Bible somewhere.
That's true. But if I go get it now, then the table's going to wobble again. All right, here we go.
Chief astronomer for the Naval Observatory died before he could publicize the fact that Planet X is approaching our solar system. Give me that name again. So I feel.
Run that back and give me that name again.
Gotcha. Let's see if we got it here. Here we go. A little bit back. Here we go.
This object headed to the Earth. Now, Dr. Harrington.
Dr. Harrington.
Harrington, give me a second, because that name actually sounds familiar.
Yeah, this is the one with the fast-acting throat cancer that he's saying he mysteriously died just before he was going to go public. We'll see if he announced it.
I find very unlikely.
Yeah. See, if he announced that he was going to go public, wouldn't he have already gone public? I mean,
that would have been Robert Sutton Harrington from who died on January the 23rd of 1993.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, he just kind of fell over one day.
Oh no, it was obviously poison.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I would say.
He had a heart attack. If I remember correctly, he had a heart attack. I was in at that time. Oh, it's esophageal cancer.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he
had
made reference to.
Esophageal cancer and just kind of fell over. Everybody was expecting it.
Anything about him coming out with the big secret or anything?
Well, Wikipedia lists a few things.
Mm-hmm.
6 months before his death, an E. Miles Standish had used data from Voyager 2's 1989 flyby of Neptune and revised the planet's mass down by a bit.
Okay.
Let's see. When Neptune's newly determined mass was used in the JPL development ephemeris, the supposed discrepancies in the Uranian orbit, and with them the need for a Planet X vanished.
Aha. Okay, so it sounds...
There were no discrepancies in the trajectory of any space probe, such as Pioneer 10, 11, Voyager 1 and 2, that can be attributed to the gravitational pull of a large undiscovered object in the other solar system. It was that Harrington actually had this thought of Planet X, and it was debunked completely 6 months before the man died.
I see. So this whole he was about to come clean, and then he got the old polonium tea, is probably not entirely honest.
Actually, it's entirely bullshit. Because I knew I remembered it from somewhere, and now I know why.
Okay.
Not only is it entirely bullshit, but Sci, feel free to mute me after I say this because it might be deserving. If he was actually coming out with any information, he would have gone the Bud Doyer route.
Probably.
Okay, I see no need for any muting.
Okay, well, don't look up the YouTube. If you don't remember it, don't look up the YouTube video of it.
Okay. On that note, let us move on.
The chief astronomer for the Naval Observatory died before he could publicize the fact that Planet X is approaching our...
Okay, Lord.
Harrington was not the chief of the Naval of the USNO. Never had been, never will be, never would have been.
Okay.
So how come Dr.
And that's because of his Nibiru shit.
Aha.
How come David Meade here isn't being axed? Like, isn't this the whole thing? He's now he should have a sight on him now, ready to take him out before he spreads the truth.
Also, some interesting fun things.
Yes.
As of March 2014, observations of the WISE telescope have ruled out the possibility of anything bigger than Saturn, out to 10,000 AU, and a Jupiter size or larger objects out to 26,000 AU.
Okay. So it's not hiding behind the moon, you're saying?
You couldn't hide that behind a moon. There's no way. It's 4 times bigger than Jupiter.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, wait. Wasn't that also invisible? All right. Anyway, here we go.
Our solar system.
Yeah, completely
So
negative
I feel
albedo,
his
right?
death is part of a cover-up. My father-in-law, in fact, or not my father-in-law, but my stepfather, rather, took the JFK autopsy photos, and I lived out.
Drink? You called it? Okay.
I'm sorry, but how do you confuse your father-in-law and your stepfather? What in the world is going on in your daughter's life, or your son's life, or your brother's life, or your... I don't even want to keep going down this track. How do you get those two confused?
Well, here's the thing. If he married his stepsister, both of those things would be true.
He could be from the South, I suppose.
Hey! Here we go.
Outside of Washington for quite a while, and I worked at the Pentagon, so I pretty much know how things operate up there, and I think it's best.
So,
I don't know who this guy is.
That one's from Terminator.
Okay.
Best always to stay under the radar, so to speak, and keep your beliefs to yourself. What does the Bible say? A fool utters all his mind. And the Bible also, I think, even says something like, if any man is ignorant, let him remain ignorant. So in terms of the type of people I used to work with, as far as they knew, I never knew anything, and I don't know anything. But I do have a tremendous...
I could drink to that just for like the truth bomb he just dumped there.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm surprised Lord Croc Squirrel didn't call click on that one. But here we go.
We'll give it a click. It's okay.
Give it one. Yeah, he admitted it, so.
You don't know Jack!
There we go.
Of archival material, proprietary photos, proprietary videos, and so forth that I've accumulated on Planet X. I believe you could take a trial lawyer and you could go into court and you could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that...
All right. Drink! Okay, you beat me to it. You're up.
Okay. The standard of proof the standard of evidence in a court of law is really dependent on how well one side or the other can tell their story. However, in science, we deal strictly in hard evidence. Science deals strictly in hard evidence. If you don't have something very clear, you don't have anything. And if you can't explain how you know it, then you don't know it.
I would tend to agree, and we were calling drink for the same reason, so that I do not mind yielding that one to you there. I've been seeing that more often. Actually in a lot of the comments on these movie nights we do, there's the amazing amount of people seem to be lawyers, or at least claim to be, and
yeah, well,
and
anybody can claim to be a lawyer.
Indeed, I mean, perhaps we have another. Is that argument ad litem? Is that maybe we should have another one?
I don't know. Well, it actually becomes an argument it becomes kind of an argument from authority. Even if it is false authority, most often it probably is.
I would.
But the standard,
especially it's not just authority; it's your own authority.
Yes.
Which is oftentimes arguments from false authority. That being said, if you can tell the better story, whether it's true or not, then the interest is in winning, not in getting at what might actually be true. Because guilty men do go free, and innocent men are punished because one or the other side had a much better argument and could throw just enough doubt to hang a jury, or even nullify a jury, or even convince, or if you're a Hitler level orator, you could even convince a jury that this individual is not guilty, despite the fact that all the evidence that was collected says yes, he is.
Indeed. Oh, actually, you know what? Since we might as well say this early before too many calls for drink and we become incoherent again. To the audience. A whole batch of mitts went out last week, and folks should be receiving them. If anyone has not received, you've given your address and all that, and you haven't received it yet, please email me again, and has mailed out a whole batch of them last week, and I know some arrived because I got, thank you emails and stuff like that. If you didn't get it and you were supposed to, please let me know, and we will rectify that post haste. All right, back to this wonderful presentation.
From the chat, I have a there's a question here that I will comment on.
Okay.
Gemshin, I think that's the way that you want that pronounced, or Gemshine, or something like that. Correct me. Just make a correction if you feel the urge. In order for Nibiru to enter the solar system and hit us before we can see it coming, it would have to be traveling faster than the speed of light. Some form of plasma would actually be visible in some way, shape, or form. It would have to be moving at faster than light speeds, because that's the only way that our current sensors would not find some kind of at least radiation.
Matter's really not good at moving at that speed. So
no, it's not particularly. Mr. Einstein is still right, although Miguel Alcubierre actually managed to come up with a way to get around him. It doesn't mean that we're going to find a warp envelope with a big fuck off planet in it.
Okay. Back to the presentation.
I want one of those oven mitts.
Wait, you're on the panel.
Might have to order two.
Were you not told that? Anybody who sits on the panel automatically wins. You don't have to make anybody laugh. Just being on the panel, make sure I get a shipping address, and one goes off to you. So
catch me right after. I'll make sure you get it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll all be.
I'll send it to you on Discord. It'll be great.
I'm sure we'll all be real coherent then. That's a good point. Okay.
But on Discord, but that said, on Discord, all your entire message history is permanently there unless you go about deleting it. So you could always go back to Discord later. Ooh.
Wow. So it's social media, you're saying? Okay. Here we go.
I'll send you.
It exists based on three things: historical records, number 2, modern observations, number 3, Bible prophecy. You mentioned
Drake. He just offered Bible prophecy as evidence. You know what? I'm going to take Dune, the first Frank Herbert Dune book, and see how many prophecies I can shoehorn into that. Just
It would be. It's terrifying and easy because it was set up to do exactly that thing.
Alrighty.
I'm not sure what you mean by a neutrino sun, but a neutron star would actually be much smaller than Jupiter and much more dense. We would see that very quickly.
Not only would we see it, we would feel
it. Yeah. Well, on top of that, you've got massive amounts of radiation coming off it. Anything in the system more than 4 or 5 light days from wherever the hell it happens to be would be instantly sterilized. It'd only take one good flash, and Earth would just it would turn into a bunch of dust motes. It'd be great.
Indeed. And Rob, that sounds like fun. In the comments, he wants us to come up with another doomsday thing. Now, are we supposed to poet and make it like we're serious and see if we can get it to spread? Is that what we're doing?
I would. That would be fun. I think that would be hilarious.
That could be. That could definitely be. Although it would be. You know what? It would destroy our
faith. We couldn't put it on our own channels because we would be called out as pose immediately. We'd have to make a whole new channel.
Yeah, but aren't you a little bit worried if we did something like that and we came up with some new conspiracy and some new end of the world thing that's just absolutely impossible? And wouldn't it just destroy your faith in humanity entirely that, on day 2 we'd have 100,000 subscribers?
I would give it till day 4 to get the 100,000 subscribers.
But it would happen, right?
Well, the AdSense alone would be really comforting,
Yeah, but there's just
well, realistically, it wouldn't even be that difficult. You just have to start a channel that says something to the effect of NASA confirms a pulsar will be pointed at the Earth at this particular point in time. It's been mapped for this long. there's legitimate resources you could cite that were obviously all not legitimate resources, but this particular pulsar will be pointed right at us, and there's a 99% chance it might wind up giving us a gamma ray burst, and we're all going to burn in hell.
It sounds like we've cooked up a good one. See,
I have an alternative.
Actually, I've got a better one for you. I'll tell you about it later. Better one.
I agree with Covenant in the chat there. It's the face palm apocalypse, where in the year 2019,
his name is Convenient, by the way, not Covenant.
The world runs out of oven mitts.
Nice.
No, actually, you know what? I got a better one for you. I'll tell you about it later, so that we don't have, so it doesn't get, so someone doesn't actually accidentally watch this video later and see what we're up to. I've got one for you, and it would create a huge firestorm and could be done completely here on planet.
Alrighty. Well, here's something interesting. We are 4 minutes and 4 seconds into this horrid video.
And we're 45, and we've been talking for 40 minutes of the time we've actually been here.
Indeed.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Here we go.
Revelation chapter 6 and verses 12 to 17 probably. The sixth seal, and Revelation, the first four verses of Revelation chapter 12. The wormwood is Planet X, as you said, and the red dragon of Revelation 12 is also Planet X. So there you have it from the highest authority. The Apostle John wrote on the outside.
Okay.
Drink.
Did he just claim that two things were the same thing in the Bible?
He did.
Pretty much.
And I'm going to say this one time, and one time only, you sorry fuck. Citations fucking needed.
Okay.
I don't know. The Bible. You can
will tell you that.
Yeah.
I want to see a biblical scholar, an actual biblical scholar, say that you are correct. I don't even need a whole bunch of them. I just need one. One.
Also, there's the fact that wouldn't really help much.
Yeah,
like,
even if there was a
biblical scholar to agree that this particular thing refers to an impending planet, that doesn't change the fact that there's not one coming.
Well, no, I want to see what he would cite to actually make that to have any chance of making that play at all. Never mind all the rest of the shit. We're talking about just the Bible here. Okay, just within biblical scholarship, I want to see the guy that would actually make that claim with a straight face. I want to see a real biblical scholar make that claim with a straight face. I would pay money to see that. And I don't have any. I would pay money. I would pay good money to see that happen. You think I'd get it?
Okay. Oh, by the way, everyone is keeping an eye on the public chat, right? Because remember the rules. If anybody makes us laugh, they win. Okay. Here we go.
Of Patmos is personally dictated by Jesus Christ himself. So you don't get any higher authority than that. And I believe Jesus said, "My words, not one jot or tittle will pass away." So you can be absolutely guaranteed if you're listening.
Because I know that one. He said that not word or so, like nothing would pass, like in the lifetime of the fucking, what do they call, the apostles?
Right, and they're all dead.
They're all dead. Yeah. So that never. You're like 2,000 years late for that one, buddy.
Not quite, actually.
Not quite. You cocked it up by a few thousand years. So
yeah. There's at least 1,978 years between then and now, between the time that could have been said and now.
And why is the a scholar astronomer using biblical text to support his assertions? I mean, isn't this purely an astronomy issue? I would think. I don't.
Just for verily I say unto you,
yes,
till heaven and earth pass, one jot nor one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Can I get an amen?
No, you may not. In fact, click.
There'll be.
Click.
There we go.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I will accept that.
Let's get on with our jotting and tittling here. Here we go.
Okay.
This, no matter what anyone has told you, no matter what disinformation you may have been exposed to,
including this,
or no matter what your level of knowledge is about the topic, that Planet X is absolutely real. It's in the Bible. It's in my opinion, a scientific, observable, provable fact. And
Andy
is not observable at all.
No, I agree.
It's never once in its whole lore and mystery ever been observed. That's absolute just lies.
Horseshit.
Absolutely. I mean,
in order for that is the nice thing about when you say observable, because in most areas of science, observable means you can do a test and you can see it happen. Whereas in astronomy, you can literally just look up.
You can observe it. The clue is in the name.
You just it's not that hard. I mean, dude, maybe I have telescopes of a different caliber of some other people, but you can make them too. And you can look up.
And I'd be willing to bet there's something you will not
hard
see.
To just look up.
Yes, not only is this not observable, none of the effects that would necessarily manifest themselves are observable. None of it. So just to state it's observable is tiring. Moving on.
The only question is the timing, and that's what I've been researching now for about 5 years. Augusto, I believe you've had some visions on this that exceed the 10-year point. So you've had insider knowledge, shall we say, of at least the impact.
Okay, did he say that like seriously, like visions? Did he?
It might have.
It looked like it, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe it was just maybe he meant that the other person saw some stuff, like real stuff, like not.
Sorry.
Yes.
Do you really think? Do you really think that's what he said, or are you just hoping that's what he said?
I'm hoping it's not what he said, because we brought in the Bible to verify astronomy. Now, if we're going to bring in visions to verify astronomy, I'm hoping it's not what he said.
Verify astronomy.
Yeah.
I think you mean create astronomy.
Okay. All right. Yep. That is a better way of saying it. Here we go.
Damage, especially the impact damage and what it's going to consist of.
Yeah, absolutely. I have had a lot of visions, David. Going back to the year 2005, or 4 or 5, somewhere around there, I was in Ohio, and I didn't know anything about Planet X back then, of course. I was totally, I had nothing. I had no knowledge, I had done no research. I had not seen anything, any books, read any books or any articles about that. And yet I had a very interesting vision one night when I was there.
So what
and
is
that? Was I
Hold
saw.
on. Hey, pause it for a second.
Sure.
That one's from Star Trek.
Okay.
Which one, huh? Which one's from Star Trek?
I think it's one of the newer ones.
The guy with the skateboard? Or just the background?
That is a guy with a skateboard.
But is he from Star Trek?
That would be...
Like the other part looks like the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever that
yeah,
was.
That's what I was thinking. But no, that's clearly Spock going through his emo phase.
But okay, it's now established he did say visions. He's confirming this.
Yeah, he was legit on that.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Visions.
Yeah.
It's confirmed. Okay. Confirmed visions. Here we go.
What I described as the vision of the 3 stars. And I saw these 3 stars in the heavens, and they were kind of just dancing around there in the heavenlies.
Yeah.
And they, out of the blue, they just started riding, as if they were using the heavens as a blackboard, and they started riding.
Okay.
Wait. No, keep going. I want to hear the rest of it.
No,
let's get in a
one
second.
quick thing.
One
quick thing. First of all, he has obviously confused blackboard for skateboard. It's an easy mistake, simple mistake. Anyone can make it.
All right.
But the other thing is, I think he's very clearly confusing also visions with stars spinning, with him literally just standing in a backyard and just spinning until he's become so dizzy that he falls over and starts having hallucinations.
It could have been. All right. Here we go.
Okay, Pleiadius.
What do we got?
I don't know what you homeopathic hydrogen monoxide.
that is a reference to our earlier shows.
Actually, believe it or not, I've done some really fun things about the hydrogen monoxide.
Okay, here we go.
Let's hear the rest of this here before I make my comment.
Okay.
Strange tongue, which I don't know what tongue it was. If I had to guess, I would guess it was Hebrew or a very ancient tongue. I just don't know. And as I began to see them writing in the heavenlies, I began to then realize that I was able to translate what they were writing. I was able to read what they were writing in this strange language.
Okay.
And,
No.
Wait,
hold on.
Drink. This just reminds me a whole lot of Joseph Smith.
Yeah, I was thinking that very thing.
Does.
All right.
I've already been going in that direction. We'll do it combined here in a minute.
Okay, we'll let it. We'll let you get the rest of it here.
As I continued to watch, I realized that they were talking about the end of times. The day of the Lord is what I'd like to describe it as, which is the beginning of the coming of the Messiah, which will usher us into the millennial kingdom. But that is called the day of the Lord because the beginning of that transition is going to be very chaotic. It's going to be cataclysmic.
Hold on, Drink, 1 second.
Okay, Hill.
Something I never understood. So
Yes.
Jesus comes again. Why does everything immediately go to shit?
You haven't been playing any Shin Megami Tensei games, have you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, God has come to Earth. I mean, and then literally the apocalypse happens.
The other thing that always worries me isn't this a good thing?
It's supposed to.
Like, isn't God coming back a good thing? Like, shouldn't we be celebrating the end of the world instead of warning people?
It's a little fuzzy. I'm not entirely sure. This does not look like a good thing to me. All right, continuing.
Which is what the book of Revelation describes, and as well as the book of Isaiah and many other books in the Bible describes the earth, going back and forth, shaking like a drunkard, reeling back and forth. And there's other scriptures that talk about the earth actually tilting on its axis and shifting. And, we never knew what that meant until recently. With when scientists have begun to,
it means everyone
to talk
dies.
about
Pretty much.
planet X and what a celestial object of that magnitude could do to the Earth. So back in 2005, as I was watching the three stars riding on the heavenlies, all of a sudden I was sucked into the vision, and I was beginning to see horrible things happening. I began to see horrific earthquakes taking place. I began to see horrific disaster, cataclysmic events taking place in the country. The country was decimated. The United States was decimated. There was a tremendous
Drake, misuse of the term decimated.
hunger, a horrific hunger. People began to cannibalize each other. It was horrific, the things that I saw, tremendous persecution. I began to see the mark of the beast.
Oh, was there a call for drink there?
Yes.
No. Oh, okay.
Andy, you've been counter-drinked. Andy, what do you got?
Oh my. Okay, that is definitely Star Wars. Don't tell me that's not Star Wars.
No, it's not.
That doesn't look like Star Wars.
Everybody, Paul's
That is
here.
definitely Star Wars.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Paul. Welcome.
Paul.
Hey.
And
Paul.
I just can't find my button. Hello.
and we apologize. It's Nibiru.
Good thing I didn't look.
Wait,
I guess.
SciStrike. Did you
Yes.
say apologize?
Oh. Hill, you are aware.
The pain never ends.
All right. Well, it's been fun being here.
All right, Hill, you are aware of the new domain name we bought that we haven't made a web server for yet.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
I heard.
We'll be making frequent use of that.
All too painfully aware of its existence.
All right. All righty.
Also, by the way, Sci, I think decimate may be that may be accurate in the way he's using it.
No, it's not.
How could
the word he was looking for was obliterate?
Yeah, 10th. How bad would that be? I mean, that's survivable. Nobody's going to be eating other people. No, that's it. 10th's gone. Oh, well.
I mean, by the looks of it, I mean, it hit Australia. So, I mean, I feel like we're all better for that.
That's not nice. That's not nice. Ken Ham's not there anymore.
So I mean, there's nice people from Australia, but also it rains spiders. So.
Well, actually, I thought Ken was okay. We'd have to wait for Ken to go back to help his brothers some more.
Yeah, they got those drop bears too. That's a myth, by the way, but it's a cool myth. Drop bears.
Wait, they're skydiving bears.
I believe it to be a myth.
Holy shit! It just evil just falls from the sky on a regular basis.
It's raining bears. Okay.
Have you guys ever seen running koala bear? By the way, running koala bears. If you ever want to Google that, that is a joy. They're fast.
Okay.
Now I've interrupted the show. Move on.
Moving on. We've got something from News 4 somewhere.
I began to see the end times. It was the tribulation. I saw the tribulation. And the thing that I will never be able to get out of my mind is not those events as much as the pain, because I could not only see, I could not only hear, but I could also feel what the people were feeling, and I could feel their pain, and their pain was horrific.
I feel your pain.
I could hear their screams and their pain.
Then.
And
now I'm going to call Drink.
Okay. All right. You're up.
Okay. First off, dude, I guarantee you've done a little bit too much LDS, and you probably mixed in some angel dust, a hefty dose of cocaine, and some methamphetamine. So you've got an 8-ball laced with PCP and LSD, on top of a whole bunch of alcohol in your system.
Also some ABCD, some LBJ.
Okay.
With some other acronyms.
The only thing we haven't got mixed in here is NASA. Okay, so here's the deal, dude. You're most definitely on something. Okay, you need to lay off whatever that was. You need to get off it.
Well, here's the thing: if he were a science fiction writer, he'd be all good.
No,
he thinks the shit is real.
Don't even. Oh yeah, don't forget the past. Actually, don't even say that, dude. I write science fiction. Even I couldn't do that. I wouldn't even remotely go there. Okay.
Well, are you thinking he's going to take the L. Ron Hubbard path and write some crappy science fiction?
I'm thinking he's already been down the L. Ron Hubbard path and back again.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, Croc-a-Squirrel, not Croc-a-Duck. He's asking. He's trying to give me a citation. Yes, unfortunately, there is. LDS is actually a Star Trek 4 reference.
Yes.
Jim Kirk speaking to what's your face about Spock.
Yes. About Spock.
Yeah. No. Okay. The level of insane absolutely insane going on here is simply beyond the pale. I don't think you. I would be hard pressed to see you get worse than this, sir.
Well, if this biblical babble and hallucination talk continues, we're going to start doing jumps again, like we have in some other previously horrendous videos. Hill, you were trying to wedge some words in, were you not?
Yeah, in the middle. I kind of zoned out for a second. Did you say all hail Galactic Overlord Xenu? I think I kind of caught a whiff of that in there somewhere.
He hasn't quite got that far yet, but he's definitely gone over to, gotten himself into the holy shit, I'm stupid category.
Okay, well, God save her.
All right, here we go.
We'll never be able to forget, and so I saw these things back in 2004 or 5, somewhere around there, and I never figured out what that all meant, David, until I began to learn more about Planet X. Then I had other visions. The visions continued to come. I began to see this large object, which looked like a moon. It began to appear in many of my dreams, and I didn't know what that was. I began to have many other experiences like that. I began to see the red, sun, the brown dwarf. I saw that as well in the distance. I had many experiences like that until recently, when I am beginning to see these things way closer. Now I see them way closer, much bigger, and I believe that that these things are upon us, and there is an urgency in my heart to tell the people, to warn the people, because I know there's other people out there and they talk about it, but it seems like they are not really.
Okay. Who called that?
All I want to say is this is Rhetoric called that one. Okay. Because this guy feels so goddamn special about his message. Like, you can tell how much he loves the attention that he gets for having this special message. And that is such a religious nutbaggery right there. It's like, look at me. I got something special, guys.
I mean, I was about to say, I mean, this guy seems very
special ed.
The report should not be that NASA warns disaster is near. It should be warning everybody this guy has dreams. And his interpretations could cause severe harm from impaction, severe non-protection facepalm impaction to the head. Yeah.
Let's see.
Somebody... No, memes are cute, sir. We are not doing Jism tonight. I don't believe, because Jism doesn't do Nibiru.
No, never. I would rather. No.
We did 2 weeks. We've already done 2 weeks of Jism. Let's not do any more tonight.
Indeed, we have. Although we do have the rest of that. Remember the one we cut off and said we'll get back to it, and then decided that would be stupid.
Too much torture.
Absolutely. Okay. So you're saying this is just fine.
It's a change. Okay. And I see that Lovely Kitty has made it into the chat. Hello, Lovely Kitty. Since you said hello to everyone.
Indeed. Hello. Okay.
Lovely Kitty works with me on gaming videos, so she's trying to check. She's checking to see where I got off to.
I see. Okay.
And letting me know that she's awake again.
Excellent. All right. Well, if Kate wants to join, feel free to send a link if you think it would be appropriate.
Well, if she wants to comment, she'll let me know if she wants to comment on Nibiru, I'm sure. Let's go.
Okay. Here we go.
Put in the emphasis that this topic deserves, because this is going to be a game changer. This is going to change the lives on this planet like we have never seen it.
Right. Everybody dead. Yeah, that'll be a slight change.
This is going to be way worse than a world war. This is going to be way worse than a financial collapse. This is going to be way over above everything that we could even imagine. This is going to be way worse than an EMP blast, because this is going to cause cataclysmic events the likes of which we have never seen. And so,
but isn't that a good thing? Sorry, I just yelled instead of actually saying drink.
Isn't that a good thing? Sometimes it happens.
Has he literally been this whole video just been listing things that this will be worse than? Like, is this worse than when you run out of coffee and worse than?
Well, at least we haven't gotten to the point of worse than Jism.
No.
And once we get there, then I think it's probably going to be time to finish the bottle.
So your opinion is that an asteroid hitting the Earth is not worse than Jism?
I think I'd prefer that, especially if it landed on Jason's house.
It depends on which. It depends on which video. It depends on which video, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul, you missed it in the beginning. There was actually some talk of astronomy and such, and that not this individual, but another one got straight A's in his university in astronomy.
Oh, wow.
So,
well
anyway.
then, I'm just gonna sit back then.
Absolutely,
Straight A's.
Straight A's at the university. So.
University.
There we go. There we go.
People need to be aware. People need to be prepared. First of all, spiritually, of course, because if they don't know Jesus Christ, then they're lost. There's going to be a lot of life, a lot of people's lives that are going to be lost.
Of course, everybody. Another FYI, like before. Since this non-existent event is going to occur, you better make sure
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to happen tomorrow. Just as my video game, just as my second weekly video game stream starts.
Absolutely.
So that should be fun.
But somehow, with all this going on, if you can muster up some kind of belief in an invisible man in the sky, it's going to make it all cool. So this won't be a problem. So,
though theoretically, they shouldn't need donations, right? Because,
right. Did you really?
Because this is all going to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we do with the money?
Now, also remember that if you, like anything bad that you do right now, as long as you believe in Jeebus by, 5 o'clock tomorrow, you're good.
Absolutely.
So go bananas tonight.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to have that get out of jail free card. All right.
Let's move on.
Absolutely.
David, I saw massive amount of loss of life, and we know, you know as well as I do, that the whole East Coast, the West Coast, all the Gulf, all that area there,
all
and
the coasts,
in many
basically.
parts of the world, I would say 80-90% of the population of the world lives close to the coast, so and close to the bodies of water. And so when this thing then happens,
okay, first off, Dudley, citation fucking needed. Okay, yes, it is true that large parts of the population likes to congregate near water. That does not constitute 98%. More like about 60 to 70%. Major cities make up the largest part of the population on Earth currently. Although if you were talking about 2,000 years ago, then that's a little different, but not a lot. Not enough different.
Now I have to look this up.
Okay. H1EB, that's reverse that. It's a master's of science in science and a PhD in stupid.
All right. There we go.
It's going to be horrific. And so people need to know. People need to know. They need to be prepared. They need to be saved. They need to be made aware of this thing and how close it is. And so I just want to give you the opportunity, David, to share and continue sharing some of these things that you see.
Hill, you're up.
Probably should have said this earlier. He says this Nibiru is close and imminent, and all I have to say to that is pics or it didn't happen.
Agreed. Agreed. If it's so observable, how come no one has observed? Except in, of course, dreams.
Yep.
Coming,
but that one guy, he had prophecies.
I know that you sent me a very, very interesting material, Microsoft Excel, regarding the dates, and we'll talk about that later. We don't have to get into that, but this goes along with what I was sharing about the woman.
A moment, please.
Yes.
Convenient. Yes, that's exactly what she said. We over on my channel, you will actually find a video, or a couple of videos actually, going through a website on quote-unquote quantum medicine. It does mean exactly what she said. Go ahead.
Okay.
Clothed with a sun. Back up again. And this year also happens to be a very important year. I don't know if you follow that, but this is the year of jubilees. And this is not just any jubilee. this is the 70th
Jubilee nice.
Since Joshua entered into the Promised Land. And this is all...
Yeah. Kara, welcome. You know what you've gotten into, right? You were aware ahead of time?
End of the world.
And
yeah.
So you clicked the link by choice to join us then, you're saying?
Typical flat earth nonsense also, I'm sure, mixed in there.
And some biblical stuff.
Wait,
we don't have any flat earth yet.
I'm insulted. Yeah. I'm insulted. You guys actually told Kara what she was getting into? Hillfilder's just like, here, join me. I never told you what I was getting into.
So you were blindsided.
The thing is, though, we actually wanted you to join. If I had told you, you wouldn't be here.
Well, all right.
You're like Mikey from the Life cereal ad. He'll debunk anything.
You could technically leave at any time, and no one would hate you for it.
And I don't think you've missed any real knowledge from this video, to be honest. All right, how long? I don't know how long he's going to babble about his dreams and visions. We may have to do a jump sometime soon. Here we go.
So, the 40th Jubilee since the coming of Messiah, Jesus Christ. So, you know, and of course, and now you're saying that something of incredible importance will be happening within a year from this coming fall feasts. So, go ahead, David, and continue to share.
Did someone call drink?
Drink.
Okay.
The apocalypse has happened every, 4 minutes since the time that supposedly Christ lived. It's not going to happen, people.
Yeah, like I said, if Nibiru's gonna get here tomorrow, if Nibiru's coming tomorrow, then it is currently traveling at superluminal speeds. The idea, of course, being that regardless of what speed it's traveling at, if it comes close enough to the Earth, as in within say 50 or so AU, the Earth will be turned into something resembling dust. He's talking about 80 to 90% of the population being near water. Well, that's
particularly relevant.
That's kind of an on him thing because 100% of the population will in fact be obliterated.
Well, the good news is our atmosphere should get whipped off long before that occurs, wouldn't you think?
No, actually, it would only take about 5 minutes. I mean, sum total, it would take 5 minutes from the time it appears until the time everybody gets vaporized.
Ah, okay.
It would be less than 5 minutes. It really wouldn't be all that. We wouldn't have time to asphyxiate. We'd just be separated at the atomic level.
But when you put it like that, it doesn't seem so bad. All right.
At least
I could live with that.
Okay. Sounds like a regular Friday afternoon to me.
All right. This
is coming on a Saturday. I mean, why would you do that?
Really? See, nobody does anything on Sunday. You know what? After Sunday Science, that would be convenient. Who do we talk to change the schedule?
Rude. Just plain rude.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Really? You got your show to do.
So that's what you're doing for Sunday Science? You're just checking every 5 minutes or so to make sure we're not all dead?
That's it.
Yes, that is the entire point of Sunday Science, to ensure that the human population has not...
Yes. We're going to do a roll call of Earth.
Now, Lovely Kitty's got it right. The good thing is that if Nibiru comes tomorrow, we won't actually notice. We won't. We won't know shit.
All right.
Also, Kete has declined to turn up for the panel. Stay in the chat and be her own little trolly self.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. Just wanted to we extended the offer. That's the important part. Here we go.
On this very interesting subject.
Sure, Augusto. Of course, I agree with absolutely everything you've said. You've said it very eloquently,
okay,
and
good.
in fact,
We're
you've
back
done
to
a very good
Drink.
500.
Okay.
Okay. He's agreeing with everything unconditionally and says this is eloquent.
Mm-hmm.
Was he listening to the same guy I was?
I can't imagine he was, because how can you agree unconditionally with visions?
So, Mr. Dude that was just speaking, click.
Oh my! Here we go.
You don't know Jack.
There you go.
There.
Word synopsis.
Now you have my opinion
of the whole tape for people that are not able to listen to all of it, but I hope they are, because you've touched on every key point. And one key point you've touched on is that 3.5 year Great Tribulation period marked in the Book of Revelation, where the New World Order system.
Andy?
At this point in time, I have to say I have read white papers about facility maintenance that are more interesting than this.
I agree.
I don't look pretty.
Is this guy actually going to get to a point, or is he just going to drivel?
I'm not entirely
That's exactly
sure.
what's going on here. He's just dribbling. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather read the Whiskey 3 manual back to front repeatedly, interspersed with large chunks of the Bible, than listen to any more of this.
All right.
Seriously.
I feel like that's kind of what you're getting already.
Well,
yeah, I'm about to start dumping as much aluminum dust as I can find in cups of water and stretching balloons over the top of them to see if I can make enough hydrogen to blow my ass off this planet.
See,
it's actually that would not be hard to do. It wouldn't take very much.
See, I wanted to do an evolution denier tonight, but no, everybody said Nibiru's coming. Nibiru's coming. We got to do a Nibiru show. So this is what you get. This is what you asked for.
I did use the emoji face of, I don't know.
Fine. All right. Next week, evolution deniers. Hate him, bastards. All right. Let's see if he starts up with the biblical nonsense again. We'll do a 5-minute jump forward and see if it changes. How's that? Here we go.
Okay.
Is the angel an evolution denier?
I'm sorry. What?
Is the angel an evolution denier?
We cannot do a whole show with the angel. No.
We didn't even get through end credits with that. Obviously, that was a joke.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder.
Here we go.
Which is basically, I believe, going to be sponsored by the United States. I have a friend out in California.
Wait. Did we miss something? What's being sponsored by the United States?
Roll that back about a minute.
Yeah.
No, obviously we missed something.
The Beast.
Go ahead.
Which is basically, I believe, going to be sponsored by the United States. I have a.
We missed it again here. Let's go back a little farther.
Listen to all of it, but I hope they are, because you've touched on every key point. And one key point you've touched on is that 3.5 year Great Tribulation period marked in the Book of Revelation, where the New World Order system arises and the mark of the beast, which is basically, I believe, going to be sponsored by the United States.
Okay, there it is.
Okay.
There. New World Order.
Beast.
Okay. First off, we can't get two countries to agree on whether or not there should be trade most of the time. Okay, don't get me started on this new world order thing. We can't keep stable trade with fucking Canada. Never mind being able to come to one set of politics. Planet.
Yes,
we can't agree. Hell, we can't even get North Korea to stop developing nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we are kind of threatening them like every other day. So.
Well, that's because they keep launching missiles over Japan every other fucking day.
Yeah, but do you think
the non-ending cycle?
You know, if they stopped doing that, we wouldn't have to threaten them.
Well, do you think the sword rattling we're doing is really going to help with a nation of that sort? I think it's making things a hell of a lot worse.
Well,
yeah.
Make a deal. Give them something nice. Send them a nice fruit basket.
We are required to come to the aid of our allies. Baskets. South Korea and Japan are our allies. Therefore, if North Korea is going to be stupid, we have to say something. It's unfortunate.
I like the fruit basket idea better.
Obviously, that's what we should do. We should carpet bomb North Korea with fruit baskets.
That would work, but no, antagonism does not work with a regime of that sort.
Honestly, it just doesn't work with people in general.
Well, we have to. We're supposed to warn them. That's kind of the rules. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Hey, I say moving on.
Nibiru is going to completely. We're not going to have to worry about all this.
No, we're fine.
Pesky relations.
That's true. So Nibiru's coming tomorrow, and I'm sitting here instead of sleeping with my wife.
That's exactly the case.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Honestly, it wouldn't make any difference. She wouldn't have enough time to deliver the baby anyway. So.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, Kara laughed.
What are we showing?
That's how I scare Kara. It's like, no.
She's back.
California, who has actually worked in the military in some of the underground facilities in Colorado, and there's more underground facilities in Colorado than
citation needed
than any state.
Drink.
And
Andy.
Yeah, I live in Colorado, and yes, there's a lot of shit underground in Colorado.
Yes, there's lots of mountains in Colorado.
A luggage terminal at DIA that happens to be underground. There's
NORAD.
A couple of tunnels that go from courthouse to courthouse that are underground. If you go to Minnesota, there's a lot more shit underground than there is here. Yeah, we have tunnels.
He's talking about places like NORAD.
Well, I know he's talking about places like NORAD, but for the love of God, NORAD's not a giant secret that the world doesn't know about.
No.
If you want to talk about secret underground passageways in Colorado, you're talking about the luggage claim at DIA that failed massively and was replaced by, oh yeah, that's right, people handle luggage better than robots.
Yeah.
So welcome to DIA. Your baggage is still going to get fucked up, and you're going to have a shitty time in our airport because it wasn't built well. That's an architectural issue. That has nothing to do with the apocalypse or anything else. That's just bad architecture.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we're 14 minutes and 29 seconds, guys. All right. Here we go.
There's hundreds and hundreds of arrays of crazed supercomputers and so forth.
What?
The New World Order system.
How could he possibly be privy to that information?
He wouldn't be because it doesn't exist.
It's tunnels full of arrays. No, that's I don't see how he could be privy to that information. Over to you, Andy.
Well, if he did actually live and work in Colorado and maybe had worked as a machinist while he was making his way through college, as I did, he would be in a situation like mine where he would absolutely know that there happens to be a couple of dozen companies here that their entire business is making the the cold plates, is what we always call them, for supercomputers. And yes, we make a lot of them. That doesn't mean they're all used. It doesn't mean that they're all active. Same thing with sitting down and making satellites. You might make 100 servo motor housings for the solar array panel on the Phoenix. Only one is going to go to Mars. You might have made 100. 99 are going to get thrown in the trash and recycled.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
As much as I like your nice, reasonable explanation, I think I have a better explanation. That's that he had a vision about it.
Actually, I have a better explanation. His citation is his own ass.
That could very well be as well.
But both of these guys have a serious case of cranial inversion.
So it would seem. All right, moving on.
I believe will begin and will be initiated right here from within the United States, unfortunately. And so it's probably, in a way, if a person has missed the rapture, it's the most dangerous country to be in. You might make a better living on, in Fiji or somewhere else, or South Africa. The Russian Empire, very interestingly, under Putin, he is trying to restore it to its former glory. Of course, the man is a dictator, but he has some good attributes.
Stop. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. First of all, Putin.
Okay, what?
Okay.
That is absolutely how I'm saying his name from now on. if Nibiru hits Earth, I don't think the United States is going to be the place that is worst affected. I'm pretty sure that Nibiru is very non-discriminatory, and it's going to very, very non-discriminatorily completely obliterate Earth.
So you think his assertion that Fiji is safe is probably inaccurate?
Oh, is Fiji safe? Is it now? If we relocate Fiji to Venus, it may be safe.
Hmm.
Oh, no, we all know that giant gas planets just really hate the U.S.
Putin.
Like, they just really hate us.
Hmm.
He said Putin.
But Putin's got a plan.
Putin's got his force field to stop it.
That is making me giggle far more than it should.
Too many calls for drink. That's the problem. All right, moving on.
And Trump admires him, and he seems to admire Trump. I don't want to talk about politics, but
admire? No, own. You used the wrong word. Owns.
Putin is
I
a
don't
very
know.
interesting.
There's a little bit of a gay relationship going on there.
You think?
Who are we talking about?
Okay. No, we're not. Sorry. This is
All right, moving on.
Character, and I believe in Daniel chapter 11, he may be referred to as the King of the North. And I believe in Daniel 11 it says that the King of the North will fight with the King of the South during the Great Tribulation. Well, who is the King of the South? That's one topic I don't want to get into right now or during this conversation because of its tremendous implications. But I believe we may innately and instinctively know who that person may be. And that the King of the South refers to someone, in my opinion, using Jerusalem as a base for geography, who was born south of there, perhaps in Africa.
Okay, Hill.
It's geographically inaccurate. Jerusalem is by no means in the south. No. No.
Okay.
I think someone's very confused about geography.
Really, I kind of got lost in there. I was still stuck on the whole Putin thing.
No.
As soon as he said King of the North, I assumed he meant Jon Snow, and I totally got lost. So
yeah, well, I was thinking, I was thinking Eddard, but Eddard Stark.
Oh yeah, well.
Or no, it was the older boy. What the fuck was his name? He became who turned himself.
Rob?
All right.
Yeah, Rob. That became King of the North.
Take a look at the chat. We got a vote for skip.
Caught up to season 7. Come on.
We've got some. We've got the suggestion. Well, apparently a vote for skipping. Shall we skip 5? Yes.
One thing before we do that.
Yes.
At the time of the end shall. Oh my God! At the time of the end, shall the King of the South push at him, and the King of the North shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, and with horsemen, and with many ships, and he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over.
I'm so glad we still won our armies with chariots.
Yeah, I know, right? What's up with that?
It's the only way to keep God back these days.
Well, yes, if you remember, wait, it has to be iron chariots though, because isn't God afraid of those?
Well, of course, course.
God, he's just omnipotent, but bring an iron chariot, he gets all nervous and jerky. Okay.
Oh, you should see aluminum chariots. They fuck them up.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. So let us jump 5 and see what happens. Oh my!
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
All right.
I like that one.
Now,
I gotta get close to the artist there.
Is it possible?
Oh, by the way,
space.
If you actually look at that, you can see the basic geography of the moon. I can see Mare Tranquillitatis right here, and the moon is on fucking fire.
Okay, what do you think the odds are that
heading for Earth?
What do you think the odds are that when we hit play, based on the babble we've been listening to so far, when we hit play, we're not really going to notice any discontinuity in the babble. It's going to be as if we had not jumped. What do you think? Let's
SciStrike.
Yes.
As we well know, in space, no one can hear you're stupid.
Ah, that is true. All right.
Actually, Strike, I'm not going to take that bet. Why? Because it's a sucker bet. I don't do those ever.
I don't make bets unless I know I'm going to win.
Oh,
Let's see what we got.
Yep.
Let's see what
This
we
is
got
definitely
here.
CGI.
Like this
I
announcement.
just read a great comment, and I have to go with it because I'm a dork. Which is
got?
Crypto. Crypto just said, "Oh wait, God is a fairy type." I love you, Crypto.
Pokemon!
Way to Pokemon that shit. I love it.
Pokemon.
See, that would have snuck right by me. I know nothing about that. All right. Let's see if we notice any discontinuity.
Came out in 2 or 3 other papers as well.
No.
Washington Post, all in 1982, 83. But the announcement of this discovery was unintentional.
Like the
Since
Washington
very
Post.
shortly thereafterwards, no comment or disinformation has been the policy since. NASA's had a lot of time to make a public statement, but remember, they're under a gag order to the NSA, the National Security Agency. They've all signed non-disclosure agreements, just like my stepfather.
Working
Great.
NDA is working real well.
Right,
There's a whole lot wrong with everything you just said.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there is so much wrong here. I'm not even sure where to start. Drink. Okay, finish the bottle. Whatever you're drinking, finish it. I'm telling you right now. There is so much stupid here. I can't even begin to parse it. Okay, first off, NASA is a civilian agency. They cannot enforce any kind of anything on the National Security Agency. It's not going to happen. Hell, the National Security Agency can't force NASA to do anything. NASA was actually the very first government agency to go completely transparent.
Yes, they are.
This all sounds like what you want NASA wants you to think.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Only very infrequently has NASA done anything. Usually at the orders of the Department of Defense. I should know.
Yeah, that sounds like big space talking.
Well, it could be the space talking.
The space cartel.
Yeah, okay. I actually get a kick out of how some of these people have no idea how the hell government actually works. What happened to physics or civics classes in high school? What happened to
conspiracy? That's the problem. It's all a conspiracy.
Do you have any idea how big that conspiracy would have to be? How many millions of people they have to shut up?
They give them all gag orders, and everybody follows their gag orders, except for this guy's stepdad who talked to his stepson about it.
But everybody else.
But everyone else does it. Yeah.
His grandfather, who signed an NDA, by the way, told him the story.
Hope that guy's dead.
and with all the leaking, going on in Washington. With all the leaking going on in Washington, nobody has leaked this? I mean, seems a little improbable. You might want to do a refresh. You're roboting a little there. All right.
Let me make a completely clean know it. Okay, Watergate was known of by about 15 people total. Before shit came down, 15 people. Okay, Watergate turned into a.
Should we tell him?
Yeah, we should tell him.
Should we tell him, or should we just let him keep going?
One secret.
I'm waiting until he's done.
For which at least elements of them are.
All right.
Should be as 75 million people around the world.
Lord Crocodile, hold on. We can't hear you. You got to refresh. You're roboting something fierce.
Give me a second.
We didn't catch any of that.
No. More than roboting, that was.
Oh, he's back. Good. I didn't say split. I said right.
Well, if I have to refresh, I have to do it that way.
All right.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There were probably 15 people that knew about Watergate anywhere near in advance. So we have Watergate, which turned into a national scandal that resulted in Nixon resigning. That was known by 15 people, and was leaked by one person to a reporter. Kaboom! Now you're talking about millions upon millions of people in places all over the planet that are all in on this Nibiru conspiracy. That would make front page as soon as the conspiracy in question would become public information all over the planet within minutes. It would, by definition, because the security of a secret is inversely proportional to the number of people that know anything about it. And you don't have any idea what kind of hush, you have no idea what kind of hush money would be required to keep all those people silent for all this time. He's talking about the 1980s. The 1980s. Okay, we're talking, what is that, 30-odd years? 37, 38 years? Something like that?
Indeed.
You would be spending more than our GDP every year. Sending it to people all over the world. Everybody that owns a telescope. Every person that buys a telescope would be entitled to hush money.
Where's my check?
For the rest of their lives.
Anybody get checked? I didn't get a check.
I didn't get a check.
Telescope you build, you get a bigger check? Because I'll keep building bigger and bigger telescopes every fucking day if I get a bigger check.
Yeah, I know, right?
I got to get that first check, you know, that first one that lets me know this is actually a thing.
I know it is. I have a telescope, but it's been out of commission a little while now. That's what it is.
See, here, also, Mr. Stevens, you are absolutely correct. Space agencies alone, we have 7 million people. Now, how many telescopes are sold on an annual basis? How many actual astronomers and astrophysicists are there in existence today?
Several.
Lots. We're still talking about millions of people. And then anybody that owns a telescope, we sell millions of those things every year.
Indeed.
The numbers are fucking staggering. I can buy a $30 telescope over at fucking Goodwill and be entitled to anywhere between $35,000 and $50,000 a year because I'm like normally Poe. Somebody tell me I wouldn't have to work again.
Agreed. All right.
They could give me $50,000 to send them my telescope, and I'd do it. I'd buy another one, but I'd send them the one I have.
I was really hoping this video was going to get into some kind of assertions that deal with actual astronomy, like look at this effect, and this is proof of it. I don't know if that's actually coming. Well, let's find out.
You don't say.
Okay.
I don't think. I honestly don't think this is actually coming. This is a Bible discussion.
Yeah, stand by. I will have some more painfully obvious statements.
I am just blown away.
All right.
I mean, color me surprised.
Evolution,
wow.
I say. No, Sci. Let's do Nibiru. Okay, here we go.
Hey, I left a little questioning mark face. I don't know. I just.
All right, here we go. And there's not going to be much more of this. I can tell you that. Here we go.
You got a couple people saying skip already.
Another skip?
There's Mr. Unite for the Children is asking us to move on. Go to the next video.
Oh, up to the next video? Or does he mean?
Yeah.
Oh, skip to the next video. All right.
There have been books appearing appearing now for get the hell off this video. Let's try something that might actually try and be science.
All right. Okay. You
want to do something a little bit different?
What do you got in mind?
You remember how once upon a time we sat down and we showed the building of the mount?
Yes.
And then we also thought maybe, hey, let's show the carbon fiber layup of the telescope.
If you would like to.
Hey, I'm just asking questions. The last time I asked a question earlier tonight, we wound up with Nibiru. So I'm leaving this to a democratic resolution as opposed to a why are you just listening to me? That's weird.
All right. Well, okay. We have.
Okay, Rob Hardwood wins. Telescopes were invented by Project MK Ultra to control our minds. They are fueled by chemtrails.
Of course they are. All right.
Of course.
Out of one of the people here, there has to be someone that knows that I have a YouTube channel.
I think we all have YouTube channels. I know Paul does.
Indeed.
I hang out at his channel quite a lot because I like listening to him beat the crap out of Ken Ham while I'm playing Final Fantasy 14.
Indeed.
Who the hell doesn't like Ken Ham?
Paul, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you sure?
This is the first time hearing of it.
Are you?
I don't know. I didn't know either.
Everyone here but Paul has a YouTube channel, obviously.
Yeah. I've never heard of this Paul guy. Who is this Paul guy?
Paul, just be sure to contact the proper authorities.
All right. Perhaps we should let's jump on to the next Nibiru vid.
Fox, Guy Fox, to answer your question, we don't know yet. We promise we'll let you know when that happens. One of us will say something.
Yeah, as soon as he announces when it's going to be. In his video, he said he was going to give a week's warning, and that's enough time to muster the forces. But
and we haven't gotten that information yet. So,
indeed, and I think if
did someone say journalism? Did someone say journalism?
Yes.
Oh God!
SciStrike, I am not too. I'll say this. I'm not too far from a window.
All right.
I am not afraid to use it.
All right. Nobody use it. Nobody.
Are you going to test gravity for us?
Nobody use the J word. Nobody use the J word again.
I am prepared to demonstrate gravity.
All right.
Take one for the team.
All right. Let us hop on to the next. We will jump on to the next Nibiru video and see if it's any better. Let us jump on this one like it is chocolate cake. This one is Planet X Nibiru, all in caps.
What?
We'll smash
Planet X Nibiru what?
What?
Planet X Nibiru what?
Chocolate cake.
What?
We are going to jump on this video like it is chocolate cake.
Nah, I'll take cheesecake instead. That'd be better.
You don't know where that's from,
Cheese
do you?
pie.
You don't know where that's from, do you?
You are dead to me.
All right. Next video is...
It will always be cheese pie. There is no such thing as a cheesecake. There's only cheese pie. It is one of the most delicious pies on the planet.
Okay, to be perfectly honest, if I had anything of the sort, my doctor would kill me. Never mind you guys. I'm more afraid of her than you.
Okay, here's the next title. Planet X Nibiru, all caps, will smash California sky. The Earth will end on... this is going to be another stupid one. I can tell. All right.
It's Nibiru, dude. How is it not going to be stupid? At least he might try and make a scientific claim. Let's hit it.
Yes. Evolution, I said. No.
Oh, Hill disappeared now.
Oh, again with the...
Ow!
Again with the killer.
Jesus.
So while we all went about our lives yesterday, we came very close to a catastrophic event here on planet Earth, and we didn't know about it. It turns out we just missed getting hit by an asteroid, a piece of solid rock, roughly the size of a 10-story building. Now I say...
All right. What do you got?
Since there are so many flat tards that like to say that we're NASA shills and we're paid by this, that, and the other thing, there does actually happen to be a large number of retired folk that really like using their telescopes for good. And they happen to do this thing called asteroid hunting. It's a lot of fun, actually. Because you get to name them after yourself when you find that they exist and what the orbits are. This is a normal thing. It's not. There's no one knew about it going on here.
Of course.
Oh my God! Is that one of the Warner Brothers?
So we're starting off with inaccuracies.
Actually, we haven't started off with the inaccuracies. Run that back to the end. Let it run to the end of when Brokaw shuts up.
All right, here we go.
We're starting with American media, so yes, we're starting with inaccuracies.
All right, here we
go. Just missed because
I was
it came
expecting.
within 45,000
I shouldn't
miles
have
of
done
us.
that.
That's a lot closer than the moon is, and scientists say way too close for something that big. Had it struck
I would have
again
joke about
today,
Canadian
the people
media,
who
but
tell us
I've
about
never
these
seen it.
things
It's
say
too
the
passive.
impact could have had
They
the
just
force
apologize.
of 1,000
It's all hockey.
Hiroshima-strength atomic bombs over a huge area of the Earth.
There are quite a few theories about how the world might end. For example, it's been suggested that there could be a big solar storm which would take the world out. Well, we get solar storms from time to time, and they're a bit troublesome if you're an astronaut. Indeed, not good news if you're an astronaut. Okay. But down here on Earth, we're protected by the Earth's magnetosphere, the effects of the magnetic field. And okay, solar storms can disturb that. They can produce currents in power lines that sometimes cause trouble. They can take out satellites, stop satellites working. So they could affect our GPS and any
Okay, who put real science in this video?
Telephone calls that go by satellite, for example. But they're not going to end the world. Every so often, asteroids do hit the Earth. We know, we can see some of the craters. There's Meteor Crater, or Barringer Crater, as it's properly called, in Arizona. And there's traces of a very big crater, partly on the Mexican Yucatan Peninsula and partly under the sea. That big crater was the result of an impact about 65 million years ago, and it's thought that's what caused the extinction of the dinosaurs and many other things. So a big thing like that could cause us some problems. Broadly speaking, what happens is when something big like that impacts, it not only makes a crater, it kicks up a whole lot of dust into the atmosphere. And the atmosphere cuts out the sunlight, and that stops crops growing and foods fail and there's starvation and so on. Yeah. So that is something we need to look out for, and we are looking out for. There's an array of telescopes all around the world monitoring the sky night after night, actually monitoring about 1,000 potentially hazardous objects, things that might come and hit the Earth one day. As they monitor them, they discover that the vast majority of them won't, that as they get the orbit more accurately, they see it'll miss the Earth. But if there was something coming to hit the Earth...
Okay.
What? She's being very reasonable.
That's because she's actually a scientist.
Yes,
I know,
yes,
but it makes us kind of like... If I don't... It's...
You don't know what
kind of boring.
You don't know what to think at this point.
Yeah, like I could sit here and listen to her for the next 3 hours.
Indeed,
and I would be okay with that.
And actually,
she's actually speaking.
But
she is actually
taking our job.
Which are true.
An interesting,
or at least
side
observable.
Note. Is it not? I believe I read somewhere you know, we're well on our we just did our little slingshot to go visit Bennu. Bennu, at some point in the future, I believe I read, its orbit is going to take it dangerously close to Earth. Has anyone else heard this?
It will actually be within the orbit of geostationary satellites. It's going to come around, and it's going to, its orbit will be bent by the Earth's gravity and just kind of take off towards the sun. Mm. It will actually on its in a couple of years, I think.
Noted.
Indeed. Well, good thing.
But it's not going to be. I don't remember exactly when this was supposed to happen, but it's not going to be a big disaster for us.
Hmm. Indeed.
No, it's probably not even going to be a little disaster. It's just going to be.
How big is this asteroid again?
Huh?
Bennu?
That's about the size of a bus.
No,
yeah.
I thought Bennu's bigger than that.
It's not huge. It's big enough to create a. If it hit the Earth, it would create a huge problem. But it's actually not all that large. I think the one that killed the dinosaurs wasn't any bigger than Rhode Island.
Can you give it its size in, let's say, in corn? How many corns would it take?
I couldn't tell you.
3,125.
Okay.
Thank you, Kara.
Really?
Alrighty. You know, I am sort of disturbed that the asteroid redirect project was one of the things that was scrubbed that NASA's not doing now. I really had high hopes for that. Apparently, it got a lot of bad press. Nobody really understood the benefit.
Oh yes, that's right, Fenrir. I was talking about Apophis. My apologies. I don't know about. I'm not sure about Bennu.
Well, I thought Bennu was a little bigger than that. All right. Anything else? Or shall we move on with the actual science? Okay, let's hear some more actual science here. This is actually kind of refreshing.
We'd get 2
I'm
or 3 years'
interested.
notice.
I'm really interested.
And even with today's technology, we could divert it so that it didn't impact the Earth. And there's research going on all the time which will improve that technology so that it gets easier to divert an incoming asteroid. We've got no knowledge of any big asteroid coming to hit us. Some of the techniques they use to deflect an asteroid, one of them is to paint it white all over, which means it reflects sunlight very well. And the sunlight bouncing off the asteroid will push it sideways so that it'll move away and not hit the Earth. That's one of the neatest solutions. But they're also developing what they call gravity tractors.
Ooh, I like this
satellites that are pretty heavy and through their own gravity can attract the asteroid and make it change course. And there's also some that will actually physically hook onto the asteroid and tug it aside. So there's lots of ways of doing this. The magnetic field of the Earth, the thing that makes your compass point due north, that flips over every so often. And I'm using flip as a geologist would use flip. The flip actually takes 5,000 years.
Rice planting on a test basis has begun in a village.
What the hell just happened?
Just one second.
There was something interesting. It stopped being interesting.
I get the distinct impression that she was not finished with her sentence.
No, This is.
Yeah, he just cut her off. It looks like the editor cut her off so that she wouldn't express too much science.
Yeah, I'm guessing. But all right, now what do we got?
Near the crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This comes after the central government lifted its ban on entering Kawauchi village in April. Rice planting in the area had been banned at all paddies following the nuclear accident last March. The purpose of this year's harvest is to verify the product's safety. On Sunday, about 40 farmers and volunteers began planting rice at 30 rice paddies. Fabric that absorbs radioactivity was laid near entrances of irrigation channels. Villagers have also sowed into the soil substances.
All right, what does this have to do with Nibiru? First off,
I think he's actually trying to provide proof of a conspiracy.
You think?
So nothing.
All right, so jump or let it go.
Let's let it run for a little bit.
Hopefully, it'll end soon.
All right.
It will end soon, I'm sure.
All right.
He'll jump to something else if it's too much.
If it gets too much, somebody will jump.
That absorb radioactivity. Once the safety of this year's harvest is confirmed, rice production will be fully resumed for the next season.
Okay.
I'm very happy to be planting rice along with so many others. I hope the safety of the rice will be confirmed so that the village can fully begin producing rice next year.
Jump.
All right. Jumping shall occur. We'll give it a nice 5-minute jump and see what happens.
I mean, I kind of like rice, but not that much.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tasty.
What now? Oh my.
Let's move back.
Maybe we jumped too far.
What
the my.
Okay.
Let's move back a little bit. Oh dear. I'm so see how this is gonna
go. Okay, we gotta back up a little bit more here. There's some weirdness coming that I don't see what any of this has to do with Nibiru.
Sorry, when we said jump, we didn't mean jump to a universe in which all conspiracies exist simultaneously.
Can we move back to about a minute after where we were before?
That's what it takes.
Fuck?
This is
what is all this shit?
We were like
I want to know.
We were like 10 seconds from the end of that. Okay, we can start right where we were.
I hope the safety of the rice will be confirmed so that the village can fully begin producing rice next year.
From Plato's Republic was the idea that population should be controlled and unwanted life should be disposed of like trash. In other words, that some were worthy of life and others weren't.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
It's like, one conspiracy's not enough? How about all the conspiracy?
How did we go from rights to population control?
I'm not entirely sure, but still, there's no mention.
So we went from asteroid redirection to rice.
Yeah,
by the way, eugenics.
Yeah, and none of this has anything to do with this Nibiru thing, which is in the title.
None of this has anything to do with anything.
Good point.
All I can say is that escalated very quickly.
Yeah, really. Well, we're trying to make the rice safe. Kill everyone. Okay. Hey, here we go. I wonder what
concept that comes through in Darwin's idea.
Evolution, I said. No.
Ideas about survival of the fittest. If we are evolving towards individual perfection by natural means, that would mean that collectively we are in fact evolving towards a utopian society of perfect men and women. However, in that case,
Brink, no, that's not how evolution works.
Drink.
All right,
hell, clicky drink.
Everybody wants in on this one. All right.
You wanted evolution. You got evolution. Are you happy? Are you happy now? Did you get what you wanted?
Oh God! Why? Perfect utopian society. I call bullshit.
Okay, we caught the important part of that.
In fact, we're going to click now.
We caught the important part.
We caught the important part. All right, here we go.
Poor genetic material would be slowing that collective evolution, and so the whole process could be accelerated by getting rid of those who are not made of the right stuff. The end goal of a utopian society of purebred humans would justify the means of getting rid of the lesser ones. Remember that the full-time...
Click, alright. Click.
You don't know Jack!
There we go.
Dude, let me tell you something here.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything that isn't pure. I don't know of any kind of critter that isn't a purebred human. We're not fucking dogs, you moron. We're not cats. We're not freaking goats. Okay. Right. Just you can stop that one. You can stop that one right back up your anus. In fact, we'll even build the rocket to send you there, so you can do that.
All right, moving on.
Species was on the origin of species by means of natural selection or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life.
Drink.
Okay, Hill.
I just wanted to point out the very clear fact that natural selection is by means of natural selection and not by means of eugenics.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going
just throwing that out there.
See, here's the thing.
Yes.
This guy here managed to quote mine Darwin without changing any of the words to the title of his book.
Nope.
The fucking quote mine. The assumption is that Darwin is a natural born racist, and therefore evolution must be wrong.
I mean,
that has to do
with
a
lot of fallacies this evening, but I mean, I don't think that's even a quote mine. That's an interpretation mine.
Okay. All right, here we go.
One of the major influences on Darwin was a man called Thomas Malthus, who received the blessings of French deist Jean-Jacques Rousseau and famous Scottish philosopher David Hume. Incidentally, David Hume has a prominent statue on Edinburgh's Royal Mile, and if you look at the back of it, you will see this sun god symbol. Now, Thomas Malthus authored a document called The Essay on the Principle of Population, where he concluded that, amongst other things, society should adopt policies that prevent the human population from growing disproportionately larger than the food supply. Malthus, again finding a root in Plato's Republic, proposed genocide to make sure this didn't happen. Specifically, he thought to target the poor. He says, "Instead of recommending cleanliness to the poor, we should encourage contrary habits. In our towns we should make the streets narrower, crowd more people into the houses, and court the return of the plague. In the country we should build our villages near stagnant pools."
Yeah, okay, Hill.
Guilt by association is guilt by association.
Is guilt by association.
Apparently, Darwin knew something about the guy, so if Guy is evil, if Guy has stuff that we don't like, then I guess evolution is wrong.
Indeed, but why is he even talking about that?
Or something.
When's he going to say something about Nibiru? It's in the goddamn title.
He's going to say something eventually.
Here we go.
particularly encourage settlement in all marshy and unwholesome situations. But above all, we should reprobate specific remedies for ravaging diseases, and those benevolent but much mistaken men who have thought they were doing a service to mankind by projecting schemes for the total extirpation of particular disorders. Malthus believed that by such methods the undesirables in society could be effectively culled. He said regarding children, "We are bound in justice and honour formally to disclaim the right of the poor to support. To this end I should propose a regulation be made declaring that no child born should ever be entitled to parish assistance. The illegitimate infant is comparatively speaking of little value to society,
Drink.
as others will."
Okay.
This is the birthplace of the Republican Party.
Okay.
That is all.
I understand.
And this is the last time that I'm ever allowed on Science Channel.
Hold your head up.
Moving on.
Will immediately supply its place.
I also want to make it known that this essay was written in 1798.
Slightly dated.
All children beyond what would be required to keep up the population to this desired level must necessarily perish, unless room be made for them by the deaths of grown persons. The logic behind the idea that those who serve society least should be destroyed was echoed under Darwinism in the survival of the fittest. The individual is lost.
No.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
Wrong.
Agreed.
He's wrong.
We'll call bullshit on that.
In the
Darwin
collective.
didn't even talk about humans that much.
No.
He didn't.
You know what? I have a copy of the
mostly
book.
about our biology, in fact.
I have a copy of his book like 5 feet away from me.
I've got one in a folder right over here.
It's his unfortunate use of the term race that is dangerously close to racism. So therefore, everything should be dismissed.
I still remember logic going through the book of different examples of the word race and then comparing them to how we use it, like the different races of banana, which I did not know banana was a derogatory term.
Yeah.
Again, the end of a utopian society justifies the means of killing the poor and the weak.
How about you tell us about Nibiru?
This naturally leads to another idea put forward by Plato, that people who are perceived to have pure genetic materials should be encouraged to breed amongst themselves to produce a race of supermen fit for ruling over the masses. This selective breeding is called eugenics. Eugenics actually found its Enlightenment era origin in Charles Darwin's cousin, Sir Francis Galton. Galton regurgitated the thoughts of Plato in his work, Hereditary Genius, which was basically a racist tirade advocating a system of selective breeding for purposes of providing more suitable races or strains of blood a better chance of prevailing over the less suitable. In other words, trying to artificially speed the upward course that evolutionists thought we were naturally already on. In truth, selective breeding had been practiced for some time amongst the elite. Inbreeding was common.
You all know you can yell jump at any time, right?
Place amongst the ruling class to protect the genetic purity of their future stock.
A pit of stupid and I don't even know, and we're just going to jump into another one.
I'll be honest with you right now. I'm just in shock.
I am
completely in shock here. There is nothing. There's nothing here that is. It's all complete. It's all just. What he's doing here is he's poisoning the well.
Yes, but
because
why is he doing it?
When he finally gets to Nibiru the last 3 minutes of the show, then we're gonna just run into. Then he's just gonna put it. He's gonna assume we've seen the rest of it, snap it all together into one big hole. And
he's not poisoning the well. He's nuclear bombing the well.
All right, Guy Fawkes says jump. We're jumping.
Yep, they are.
Oh dear.
All right, we'll go to 5.
It didn't work so well last time we tried it.
No, we went back. That was our mistake. We never looked back.
Remember that was. I feel like we would have just been more lost.
Oh, here we go. Look at this.
Something.
We've got young fellow with a wolf shirt. Let's see what he has to say.
Thank God it's a human.
Yes.
It's real. So plenty of studies that indicate over the last 30 years what shit's going on if we're not too careful. Like, we're gonna ruin our Earth. Yeah.
It's self-evident. The ice is melting. We're all doomed. We're all gonna die.
I really don't know what's going on with the government. I know there are tons of weather machines. I know all the weather isn't real weather, so it's kind of like, who knows, you know? What minute it's snowing, what minute it's raining.
Okay, wait, no, I said it first. What?
All right.
What the hell question did you ask them that their answer is, yeah, the government's doing all these things with weather machines?
Okay, see, asking a question like that, Hill, would cause us to go back. And what did we learn about going back last time?
No, he's not. We're not going to actually see it because obviously he just showed their, just like like Ray Comfort does in his films. Sometimes he doesn't.
I was just going to say that.
He doesn't show the question.
He's using the comfort method.
Yes, that's and I've never been a big fan of the the man on the street interview because all the sensible ones are immediately trashed.
Let's go ahead.
Here we go.
Let's jump ahead to the 3 minutes if he stops being stupid about it.
All right, another 3. Here we go. Oh, great!
Now let's go back. Let's go back about 30 seconds.
All right.
Okay, a little bit
more. Oh.
Hey! Oh my God!
We got to get to the beginning of Armageddon news. Oh, look at this.
It's Earth.
Okay, what mistake are we making again?
It's Europe.
We're
We're
going back.
It's a lady.
We've learned.
It's Europe.
All right, let's get back to the end of this.
Oh my God!
Appreciate it. Thank you. Here's why some believe a pole shift, a serious one, a complete one, may be on the near horizon.
Okay,
on December 29th, 2003, NASA released this article about our migrating pole. The bottom location, 1831. In approximately 70 years, it moved up 1 notch to 9.
What? You have a comment? Didn't you say stop?
No.
No? Oh, I thought you did. Okay, move on.
I didn't.
I was nearly sure you said stop. Might have been...
It's probably an aftershock.
Could be. Here we go.
1904. Approximately 70 years later, up in 1972, it moved considerably more. And it moved about that same distance in 29 years, well less than half the time. Now, the magnetic north was measured in 2005 at 82.7 degrees north, 114.4 degrees west. Now, each block here is 5 by 5 degrees, so it would be about here where the cursor is. A later study revealed that the pole is trekking towards Russia at about 40 miles per year, but not there yet. And that's all we know. Russia and Europe got tossed this winter. The USA had a light go of it. But the North Pole has not been measured in Russia, and if you happen to know otherwise for a fact, please send a link. Let's be clear, the increasingly fleet-footed North Pole may change direction, stop entirely, speed up, or something else. This may never be anything to worry about. And then again, a complete magnetic reversal could happen this century. Or this year. If you read these articles, you will see that the pole is...
No.
I'm with him. No.
Okay,
back to that nice lady who was talking at the beginning. Reversal takes, what was she say? She's like how many thousand years? 5,000 years?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the last magnetic pole shift was 50 or 60,000 years ago. It's a long time, and it does occasionally change. The pole actually shifts, and will sometimes invert, and we can actually go through the rock. We can actually, funnily enough, go through the geologic record and see when these pole shifts have occurred. It's happening again. So what?
It's not fucking gonna happen in a fucking year.
No, it takes thousands of years to do that.
Yeah, I know. That's why
I think he's proposing that, like, tomorrow morning we're gonna wake up and the South Pole's gonna be the North Pole.
Well, if he's talking about the Earth shift, if he's talking about the Earth itself shifting like that, that's never going to happen.
No, I think he's talking about the magnetic pole.
He's talking about a magnetic pole shift.
The magnetic pole, yes, that does happen. It does happen. It takes a few thousand years to do, but it's not just going to invert automatically.
Well,
Spirit Science tried to make that declaration a few years back, and he promptly put down.
Hey, Rhetoric and Discourse.
Yes.
Someone give this man a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes, you need a Nobel Peace Prize for this, for figuring out that the whole flat plane is the North magnetic pole.
No one else gets this. Very few people will understand that joke.
That's okay.
Very few.
Funny.
I'm losing it.
Moving on.
Is not going at a constant speed. Take that into your considerations. Be safe, everyone.
In 812, When the fourth angel blew his trumpet, 1/3 of the sun, 1/3 of the moon, different place. And the moon would also appear to have altered its orbit.
Not sure.
A shift in the axis of the Earth could indeed cause 1/3 of the day and night to be lost. And instead of a 24-hour day, we would experience a 16-hour day. If the Earth loses 8 hours...
But no,
Yeah.
okay, you call drink. Go ahead.
I'm talking far more than I should. If the axis of the Earth changes extremely quickly for
the
some
planet would
reason,
the planet would be torn apart.
Yeah, we'd be dead.
Now
we have a lot more. We have a lot bigger things to worry about than a 16-hour day. And also, why the fuck would the day be 16 hours long?
I can tell you.
Okay.
If you let me do mine, because I called drink first.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes.
Okay, the Earth's rotation was at one point much faster than it is now. Of course, we had a somewhat different composition as far as the distribution of mass, but ultimately, yes. When the moon was formed, the guesstimate was that we had somewhere between 8 and 12-hour day. That would be our whole day-night cycle. Well, with the moon in place, that big, nice, heavy fucking moon, it as angular momentum is transferred to the moon, it moves out. The only way you could get our day shorter would be to move the moon in. Not losing 1/3 of its mass, it would have to move in. And yes, HIEW, I don't know how you want me to pronounce that, but I think that's exactly what he's doing.
Mm. Indeed. Okay. And still, what? Does
But he wouldn't. But the only way to get the Earth to move to spin faster would be to transfer all of that angular momentum from the moon back to the Earth, and that would increase our rate of rotation.
Which still
is anyone else thinking of Bruce Almighty?
Which still does not.
We don't talk about how much we will not. I will not speak of how much energy is required to do that.
Not to mention, how would that be related to a pole shift?
I can, if you want, but you might not want to hear it.
Well, Stance, I don't think that would be related to a pole shift at all.
No. It's the fact that we have a molten core, and it shifts, and it moves, and it rotates on its own, and it has its own little wobble and everything, and yeah, it kind of moves things around.
Indeed. All right, moving on.
Then sunset would occur at about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, by the way, has anyone seen this channel, this news channel, Armageddon News? I have not.
Nope.
Well, that's
nope. One of the few I haven't heard of. I need to go sub it.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Fake news.
All the clocks in the world would have to be reset. God has done things like this before.
A catastrophe. Everyone would have to reset their clocks.
In 2 Kings 20 verse 8, God made the sun go backwards, and then forward again. Which would mean that the Earth's rotation would have rolled back, and then forward again. And during the days of Joshua in Joshua 10 verse 12, God made the sun and moon stand still for a while. Which means that both the Earth and the moon's revolution stopped altogether.
The technology does exist.
That's killing everyone.
Okay, drink.
All right, what do you got?
You guys, okay. I was not going to do this, but he has now forced me to do this.
Okay.
Okay. You have to make 2 assumptions here if you're going to quote Joshua. First, that the sun goes around the Earth. That's 1.
Mm-hmm.
2, that the moon and the sun are of something roughly resembling same size, same mass. Now, going with just the first assumption, if we actually were living in a geocentric universe and we're not, you would have to have an object. You would actually, to stop the sun in its tracks, you would have to have approximately, you would have to expend an amount of energy equivalent to 100 times the mass of the sun. Okay, can anybody tell me what a release of that much energy would do to anything in the neighborhood? Okay, fuck God did it. Okay, God doesn't break the laws of physics today. How he managed to do that before, I don't know, but that energy is still there. Conservation of mass and energy, we have to maintain this. So that energy has got to go somewhere. And if it goes out from the point of origin, what's the result? Can anybody tell me?
I'm guessing we have a
We
very bad day.
We already know that's a very large number.
Indeed.
Dead.
We have a very bad day.
Okay. So here's what we have. We have our solar. I actually had a friend of mine help me with the math for this one. Okay, what we have is we have our solar system obliterated in its entirety, as well as everything over the course of over the course of a little while. Everything within about 50 light years, gone.
Huh.
Anything beyond the 50 light year range, we have serious disruption. Okay, all the way down to the freaking galactic core. We would not have a galaxy. We'd have a large collection of stars that plug everywhere. Okay. That's what we would have.
So, if I'm hearing you correctly, you doubt the veracity of the stopping the sun in the sky thing.
Doubt? The math exists.
You have your doubts.
Sai, do you want a dissertation? Because I feel like he has one.
That is actually one of my major proofs for God not existing as described in the Bible. Seriously. Okay, well, don't get me started on the flood, man. Don't do it. Okay.
Not this. We'll do a show dedicated just to that. But all right.
It's going to have to be you and me and some idiot. We'll bring Paul and have Ken do it.
Feel as you or me, and it's a whole lot more out there than even the most diehard believers could possibly fathom. The truth is that we, and by we I mean this planet and the people of this planet, are in essence blind to what is really going on in the cosmos and interstellar space.
Of course we are.
Citation
what
needed.
People call aliens, we call IBs, or in layman's terms, interdimensional beings.
Of course they are.
What we found out and have known about since the early 70s is that, in simplest terms, other dimensions or planes, as we call
well, which is it, a dimension or a plane?
Them, exist.
They're not the same.
And lay
Seriously?
on top
That's
of
what
each
you chose
other.
to pick on in this?
Okay, well, what's the name of the guy with that is described by this eyeball here in the upper right hand corner?
Morpheus.
What is his name? Huh?
Nothing.
What's the channel name?
This channel. Hold on one second. This was Nat Worldwide.
Okay. All right, Nat Worldwide. I have to ask you one question. Is this the hill? Is this really the hill you want to fucking die on? Is this really that hill? Because I can make that. We can make that happen. I'll invite Paul and Kitty and Sai, and we'll just take your video apart, dude. I might actually have to take your entire freaking channel and just whip into it because you don't click.
This is it. All right.
You don't know Jack.
All right, here we go.
Ever
do not get the crocus. Do not get the crocus squirrel raged. He will make you feel sad if he is raped.
Indeed. Remind me not to piss you off there. All right, here we go.
Oh.
Almost stacked, as if you had a blanket with another blanket stacked on top of it, and another blanket stacked on top of it.
You'd be too warm.
To explain it so you can understand, you can imagine the Earth and our reality as a thin blanket. And all of these other higher dimensions are the blankets laying directly on top of ours. However, we can only see our own blanket. Now the alien beings, or the ships that we have seen in videos,
what the hell is this to do with
and that many people have captured over the years, are in fact what we call jumpers, in that they exist in their relative dimensions, but have in fact jumped into ours. We have discovered that most of the time we are unable to see them, as they are at a wavelength indifferent to our own, and our senses, eyes, and ears can...
Yes?
Wait.
Yes?
You, dumbass, define a wavelength.
They love that.
The vibrational frequency.
Yes.
What the hell is that? What? How are you using this word? You know what? I get this here. You've used this word, but I do not think it means what you think it means.
No.
I'm getting Spirit and Science flashbacks.
They use it as a.
I've been getting Spirit and Science flashbacks. I'm like, Jordan, when did your voice finally drop?
And still, nothing to do with Nibiru at all. Absolutely nothing.
We're getting there. He will get to it.
You think?
I can almost guarantee you that.
All right. Here we go.
Not detect. From the information that I have gathered and been briefed on, every planet, star, and galaxy within our own plane and universe, as we see it, exists also in these other dimensions. We've detected that we know of and that I've been briefed on at least 4 other dimensions that do exist. Now, as I said, every planet we know of, every galaxy does exist in these other dimensions. However, with each new dimension, each planet, galaxy, star takes on a different form. To explain it in the most simplest terms, you can look at our own planet, Jupiter, which is in the outer reaches of our solar system. Now, to us, it's a deadly gas.
Okay.
You say every planet takes on a different form. Does that mean that in some place or another we're actually a cube? Really?
I'm guessing. I mean, now the addition of I think he's even using dimension incorrectly. Whereas it would really just be an additional direction to move in. It seems he's referring to it as like a place, and that's as bad as frequencies for me. All right, here we go.
Gaseous planet.
Oh, by the way, Strike.
Yes.
Pheno makes a note here. It is actually the first anniversary of the time that you started doing the Science Denier Hall of Shame movie night.
Really?
It has been 1 year as of today.
Nice.
First one was on the 22nd of September 2016.
Nice.
Good catch, Pheno.
We are nicely done. So this is the anniversary show. Excellent.
Woohoo!
Mitts all around.
Woo!
Here we go.
I'm waiting for mine. You have that information.
I believe so. Here we go.
The uninhabitable.
Feel free to yell jump.
However, when you look at Jupiter in an elevated dimension, you will see that it has completely changed in all forms.
An elevated dimension.
Drink.
You will see.
Okay.
How did he observe this? Is this a thing that is testable and repeatable?
He mentioned he was briefed. I don't remember when that briefing was held.
I don't know where that briefing was held. I should think I would have known about it.
Then again, I haven't really gotten any shield checks yet either, so this is...
Yeah, well, so neither have I.
This has got
I should be getting them. I should have been getting them for years now.
One would imagine. We keep promulgating reality, and that's being a shill, isn't it? All right, here we go.
Yep.
See that it's no longer a deadly ball of gas, but is now solid, has a different color, and is now inhabited.
Of course.
We know for a fact this is true due to the fact that the government has the technology to detect these higher dimensions and actually get a small view of what the solar system looks like on the other side, as we call it, in these other dimensions.
The other side.
I don't know why, but this guy's voice reminds me of the scientist from Independence Day, the one that was taken over by an alien.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Data from Star Trek. What's his name?
Spiner, Brent Spiner.
Yeah, Brent Spiner. Let's listen again.
We do not know about the universe and how it works. However,
only when he's been taken over by the alien.
That I can confirm as truth and were made known to me, and that I and the other people that I worked with have been briefed on. Now, we are not alone in the universe. There are alien beings within our own dimension of space, as well as other dimensions. The planet Earth is an early stage, I guess you could say, training ground, if you will, whereby which we as beings will live until we advanced to the higher dimensions. Now, we are not the bottom of the food chain, and we have discovered that there are at least 2 dimensions below our own plane.
Do you have a cuckoo clock sound that you can do?
No, we're gonna have to get that though. We are gonna have to get that. Although
I think we need that.
I guess that last little sentence was sort of correct because we sort of live in a 3-dimensional space. I mean, we could go down to 2 and 1. So yes, there are. But
there's not like alien life down there.
No, not that I've noticed.
There's not alien life down there. We're yeah.
What'd you say? Jump? Is that what Is that what you said?
No jumps yet.
Oh God! Evolution, I said. No.
But that is as far as I will go regarding that.
Why?
Now, I'm getting a little bit low on time, so I will leave you with a few other important things that people will no doubt want to know about later in time once this video is made public.
Important stuff.
Now, these are things that I have been briefed on by my superiors,
Another briefing.
and that are common knowledge in the Black Ops community. Now, the planet that we know of as Mars was at one time inhabited, but again, at one time was wiped out by the people who inhabited the planet, which were much more technologically advanced than we are, which we discovered by testing and analyzing the chemical residue found from the blasts around the planet, as well as artifacts that we've also discovered on the planet, including the infamous glass tubes seen in the few of the publicly made photographs from NASA. Now, these are not...
Okay.
Now, what you are seeing here in this fuzzy ass picture is from Viking, which didn't have the high res color cameras we have on say the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And what you're looking at, these quote unquote glass tubes, that's a huge fucking canyon. It's a goddamn canyon. And little crater marks all over the place. That big thing in the back, that's not a glass tube, it's a fucking crater. That crater is probably about 50, 60 kilometers across. It's huge. So, dude, you can show me black and white pictures all day, especially fuzzy black and white pictures all day, but it's not going to change the fact that nothing had enough time to evolve past the only very basic bacteriological stages, if that. Okay, go.
Oh, that was perfect. Who had the cuckoo clock thing? Oh, perfect. Nice.
Glass structures, but a glass-like material that is about 1,000 times stronger than any material or steel that we have on our own planet.
Okay, first off, glass is very easy. All you have to have is fucking silicates. Silicates and heat, you have glass.
Pretty much.
And it doesn't even take much heat. A few hundred degrees, you could theoretically, if you tried hard enough, make glass in your fucking oven. You kind of want to go a little hotter than that to make really good glass. But no. Yeah, transparent aluminum. There you go.
That would work. All right.
You know, how many times stronger than freaking? Yeah, no, just no. You're not going to get glass stronger than steel.
I would tend to agree. All right, there we go. And so you're still saying no jump? And did we intoxicate Hill to the point of lack of consciousness?
No, he's just been quiet.
Oh, okay.
He may have died.
We were worried about that in just about every show he's been on, that we killed him from alcohol poisoning. But
no, we haven't killed him yet.
Yeah, we're losing people here.
Wait, come on! Look at what we're watching. Does it surprise you? I'm actually shocked that you two are, holding out.
No! I'm here till we're done.
Well, I'm kind of myself, so.
Understand. All right, here we go.
Tubes were used as a means of travel, underground and above ground, by the people who inhabited this planet. It is thought from our research that there are still an ET presence inhabiting Mars, but again, this is as far as I will go, and that I was briefed on regarding that matter. Now, I'm not trying to be completely vague, but I am trying to give you a picture of what is going on out there that doesn't completely put me in more danger than I am already in just by revealing the few things that I have. One of the last things that I will reveal, and that is definitely a fact, and that I have been briefed on, and that many other people involved with the Black Ops community have been briefed on, and that is our own moon, which does in fact have alien bases on it, and also has bases from our own government. Now, there is an ET presence, which is primarily located on the dark side of the moon. The Apollo program was an...
There is no dark side.
Wait. So, what's constantly moving?
I'm guessing.
It would have to be, because we only see one side of the moon at a time, and in fact, we only see one side of the moon because it's actually because it's tidally locked with us. But
well, it's another idiot that doesn't know the difference between a dark side of the moon and the far side of the moon.
Well, obviously. Okay, first off, I want to know when we launched. I want to know when we launched all the life support equipment that would be necessary to run a base on the moon, even just one.
And let's not forget the constant resupply missions that would.
Apollo, hello.
Apollo, no.
Obviously, a moon base establishment mission.
Right.
Makes sense to me. Okay.
Sure. We'll just go with that.
Okay. All right. He's got to say something.
Because that's right.
Yeah, he's got to say something about Nibiru at some point. Wouldn't you expect? All right. Here we go.
Well, he put Nibiru on the freaking title.
Yes.
You'd think he'd actually talk about it.
One would think.
A reconnaissance mission, so that we could research what was exactly there and who. You will notice that many of the photos from the Apollo missions have airbrushed out buildings and bases, and this is the truth of the matter. About half of the video that you will see that is documented from the Apollo missions was in fact shot here on Earth at Area 51. In fact, if you look at satellite imagery...
Click! Okay. Alright.
You don't know Jack!
You can actually see what's left of a crater field created at Area 51 that was used in the filming. Now, the truth is that most of the footage from the moon was simply cluttered with bases, with alien buildings, and from what one astronaut said, and I'm quoting, what were a constant presence of alien vehicles flying over the surface, cluttering up the footage. So again, they showed the American people what they could and recreated the rest here on Earth that they couldn't show. From what we know...
And then held briefings.
The dark side of the moon is where most of the alien presence is located. It's a more primitive alien...
Did you actually go to the backside of the moon?
Mobile bases.
Race from what we can see.
We didn't even go over there. We never went there.
And our research tells us it's more primitive than the alien beings you would see on higher dimensions, but still thousands, if not millions of years ahead of us. Now we have our own bases, which are primarily located in or near the Sea of Tranquility, which is the site of Apollo 11, and also one base that I know of located near the crater Sabine D. To this day, we are still sending secret missions to and from the moon. However, I do not know the complete details of what we are doing.
Okay, we're doing something different now.
A war is being waged that you may know nothing about.
What
the war against the homeless. On April 18th, the ACLU sent a letter to both the Department of Justice and the Detroit Police Department urging that the practice of dumping the homeless be stopped. A year-long ACLU investigation claims the following. Detroit police officers stopped people perceived to be homeless in the tourist area of Greektown in Detroit. They forced them into vans, took them for a ride, and deserted them miles away. The sad truth, Detroit isn't the only city that treats the homeless this way. Joining me now from Detroit is Michael Steinberg, legal director of the ACLU of Michigan. Nice to have you, Michael.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Melissa.
So tell me, what
2-minute jump, you mean?
2-minute jump.
2-minute jump, so shall it be. Here we go.
We should keep, okay, give me another minute.
Another minute.
I like that guy. That face.
You think?
It looks like he's been sucking on it looks like he's just been sucking sour ass. Give me another minute.
Another minute. Here we go. Oh, this looks like something.
Okay.
That
might be something.
a direct result from people's unconscious choices. One or all of these scenarios will occur. Humanity still can change the outcome, but it is very unlikely now.
Does anybody else feel themselves getting dumber?
Well, the question was, if Iran were to launch a nuclear attack on Israel, what would our response be? And I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. And I want them to understand that, because it does mean that they have to look very carefully at their society. Because whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that, because that perhaps will deter them from doing something that would be reckless, foolish, and tragic.
Scenario 1, World War III. Hillary Clinton is quite...
And again, I'm saying this through the whole part. What's any of this have to do with Nibiru?
Possibly the most corrupt and evil person to ever run for President of the United States. Previous title holders were Lyndon B. Johnston, the man that quarterbacked the JFK assassination, and Dick Cheney, the man that quarterbacked 9/11. But these guys look like Boy Scouts compared to what Hillary has in mind. Anyway, if Hillary gets elected, then she will start World War III, no question about it. The system of bankers and global interests she works for want World War III. War is a banker's dream. They make a lot of money no matter who wins. These people are hardcore psychopaths. They have no empathy for any other human except their own family, and even then, some of them get killed if they don't play ball. Read my second book for the whole story, and it will shock you.
Convenient. Generally, no. Generally, we go by title, and if it's just awful, we send it to the bin. We try to watch them cold.
They want a war with Russia and China, and for the last 12 months, they have been doing everything they can to provoke those countries. They need Russia or China to shoot first.
Okay.
That actually comes from a fucking video game. I have a copy of this game, no less. It's called DEFCON. It's called DEFCON.
Okay.
This is what they use at the Pentagon, don't you know?
God.
I'm guessing they run it on the Whopper.
Yeah, no shit.
All right.
I've played this game.
Why are we watching this crap? I mean, serious. I've never said that. I've never said that in one of the things we picked for movie night before.
Okay, sewer tapes. No, this is not Ray Comfort. This is nor do we have Kirk Cameron, unfortunately, at this point.
All right, now
move on. Let's go.
All right.
How far are we from the end of this video?
We've got another half hour of this crap. And nobody knows if he's ever going to say anything about Nibiru or not. You know what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah. No Nibiru.
It'll be here. I guarantee it's here, because he wouldn't be this clickbaity. If he's people like this are nothing if not predictable. If they say Nibiru, it's there.
All right, we'll give it a shot. Here we go. 5 minutes.
And Fenrir Wolf, that would be, would you like to play a game?
Oh wait,
I know. I watched that movie not long ago. There we go. We have a nuclear detonation. This will be fun.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he also said, "Shall we play a game?" Well. All right. Here we go.
They have been slowly positioning their people into every Western country on the planet.
No.
The refugee crisis in Europe is the last stage.
This is what the jump got us. Now we're on to the global threat of spread of Islam. Yeah, this is.
Okay, I don't disagree with him here, but still, moving on.
Indeed, moving on as in jump. Hey, here we go.
A little bit further back. Let's go back a bit. Oops, I meant book 2. Well, okay.
Okay, we got some stuff going on now.
Oh, goody. No, this is where we can start.
All right, we'll start here and see what we got.
To the whole Western world. So basically, this band of evil men hope to use black magic to invoke a powerful dark entity that they call the Mahdi. On the date 13 May 2017, the Islamicists plan to unleash hell onto the Western world.
Why has he got this?
That is why they have been slowly positioning their people into every Western country on the planet. The refugee crisis in Europe is the last stage of positioning the chess pieces. It is their specific intention to destroy the Vatican in Rome. Pope John Paul II strongly believed that this was the third prophecy of Fatima. The prophecy of Fatima was given to the world on May 13, 1917. The first two prophecies were released almost immediately. However, the third prophecy was supposed to be released to the world in the 1960s, but for some reason it was kept sealed. On May 13, 1981, on the anniversary of the original prophecy of Fatima, Pope John Paul II was en route to St. Peter's Square to deliver the third and final prophecy. He was adamant that the people deserved to know what it contained. Before he could reveal the prophecy, however, he was shot down by Muhammad Ali Atkar. The Grey Wolves, now ISIS, did not want their plans revealed to the world. The third prophecy of Fatima contains their plans to destroy the Vatican and the Western world, and they want to do it on a special date of May 13, 2017. Many of the Vatican cardinals have secretly converted to Islam in hope to save their skins when the time of destruction comes. They want to be part of the New World Order One religion. A new Vatican II is under construction. It is called the Temple of the Work of the Holy Spirit, and it is located in Palestrina, just outside Rome, of the serpent, which I talk about in Book 1, connected to the priest class that became the Illuminati. This new temple is supposed to be for the one world religion and will begin after the destruction of the Vatican. Notice how the inside looks like a mosque where followers kneel on their mats to worship. Construction is expected to be completed in 2019. Scenario 3. The Return of Nibiru.
Here it is!
I cover everything you need to know about Nibiru and its inhabitants in my first book, The Truth Chronicles, Book 1, Secrets of the Soul. However, here is a quick background. There is a planet that the ancients called Nibiru. NASA calls it Planet X. It's about 4.5 to 5 times the size of Earth. It belongs to a small solar system whose star is a dwarf star known as Nemesis. All up, the Nemesis system has 7 planets, and Nibiru is its largest and is the only one that's inhabited by beings called the Anunnaki. It has a that were based there had to evacuate and come to Earth. On Earth, it caused the Antarctic ice sheet in the south to break off, causing a global tsunami that the Bible refers to as the Flood of Noah. This flood and ensuing cataclysm was documented by dozens of native peoples all over the world. The Anunnaki monitored this whole episode from a satellite they
we need the cuckoo clock again, I think.
Put into orbit. This satellite is still in orbit and is now known as the Black Knight satellite.
Drink!
Okay. All right, Lord, tell us.
Get back a few frames. A few frames. Just bring us back a few frames.
Hopefully I can.
About a second and a half. Nope, not too far. Too far. No. We got. We missed a spot. About half that. Okay. Click play from here, and when we see the little ship, then we can.
And is now known as the Black Knight satellite.
Here?
Click right here. Does anybody recognize this object?
I do not.
We'll see how many sci-fi fans we have.
I do not.
Firefly.
You've got
Firefly.
Yeah, that's a Firefly. That is actually Serenity from the TV series, called Firefly, or the movie Serenity.
I was not familiar with that.
Yes, you should be familiar with. Honestly, it's 15 episodes, dude. Go get it. 15 episodes and a goddamn movie. It's not that big.
All right, I just haven't tripped over it yet. Took me a while to catch on to Babylon 5. Give me time.
No, you need to go hunt that down somehow, because that's actually a really good series. Okay. I like it. And I'm really critical sci-fi.
Sewer Tape's guess is not accurate, then, you're saying?
No, not so much.
Okay. Here we go.
As Nibiru approaches Earth, the gravitational forces begin to make their presence known. The much stronger gravity of Nibiru begins to heat up the Earth's core. Between the Earth's core and the outer layer, known as the crust, is an area called the mantle.
I'm with you.
The mantle is the most solid bulk of Earth's interior. It lies between Earth's dense superheated core and its thin outer layer, the crust. The mantle is about 2,900 kilometers or 1,802 miles thick and makes up a whopping 84% of the Earth's total volume. As Nibiru approaches, the mantle becomes superheated. This increases its viscosity until it becomes liquefied. As this happens, more and more volcanoes begin to become active. Earthquakes start to happen everywhere. Coral in the oceans becomes bleached.
Okay, this is sort of implying that this approach of Nibiru is kind of slow, right? As opposed to the previous thing we watched, where it was well above light speed and just blasting us to nothing, right?
Right.
It's just kind of creeping in. And if it's going to be here tomorrow,
but again,
we'd see it now.
Yeah, we would definitely be seeing that. Coral's bleached, by the way, because of an excess to CO2 trapping sunlight. So fuck you too, Mr. Climate Change Denier.
Patterns become severe and unpredictable. All of these events are referred to as Earth changes. In April 2016, the Earth changes became undeniable. A video put out by SOTT, or Sign of the Times, details each day of April and what Earth changes happened on each day. When you see this, you will be left in no doubt that the countdown has begun.
Okay, Kara.
There's stuff like this from like every year in history.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't just say, look, there's all these catastrophes happening everywhere, without showing that there's more than usual.
I would agree.
Presuming that it's more than usual.
All right, so
what the hell?
So we're still on the topic of Nibiru. He's just saying these are signs incorrectly.
Yeah, these are signs apparently that Nibiru is approaching.
I was
it's
worried.
It's actually global climate change creating a large part of this.
This guy is just.
I was worried that he did mention his book, right? I was just concerned that he said, "Here's the book talking about Nibiru. Now let's go back to talking about unrelated topics," hoping that people would just buy his book. I'm hoping
yeah, by the
not
way, buy my book.
Buy my book. Yes, absolutely. Here we go.
The world is ending. Buy my book.
I think we killed Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hill might actually be dead this time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's the one that reminds me we're supposed to be a science channel. Okay. More disasters.
I mean, there are from other causes, like, climate change, global warming.
Indeed.
Bigger hurricane.
None of which matters because Jesus is coming.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Overnight, blizzard-like conditions in Massachusetts. Nearly 1,900 crew working through the night, clearing roads. Treacherous conditions leading to wreck after wreck.
Yes, Emma, Nibiru actually killed someone. Absolutely.
In upstate New York, a bus carrying 36 college students flipping over and winding up upside down. Incredibly, there were no serious injuries. And in Connecticut, a tractor trailer sliding and jackknifing on this bridge. New Jersey police releasing this dramatic dashcam video. Trees snapping from heavy winds.
We might be done with Nibiru.
No, this is all caused by Nibiru, he said.
Okay.
Okay, stop.
Pretty typical.
Back.
Oh, back?
Back just to hear that earthquake list.
Oh, I hate the back.
I know you hate the backside, but I don't have control over the video, so I would have stopped it right there.
All right.
It was just a few frames behind where we were, so.
All right, so we should be coming up to it. Here we go.
Yeah, about now.
Right there.
Okay.
Now, please note where all of these things are.
3 words altogether.
With the exception of the one in southern, with the exception of the one in southern France, which was only just barely, and the one in the ones in let's see, we got Tonga, southern Georgia, and southern France. Where are all of these? Where are all of these places?
Ring of Fire.
On the Ring of Fire, which means, and we're looking, and the one in the Tonga, the one in South Georgia, and the one in southern France. None of them even managed to make 6.0, which means the chances of them having felt that are pretty friggin' thin. Well, almost all the rest of these, as far as I can tell, are on the Ring of Fire. Now Barbados is in the Caribbean, so it would actually be affected by the North Atlantic plate, but everything else is right along the Pacific.
So they're all where they're supposed to be.
They're all where you would expect to find them, yes.
Okay, nice catch. Glad we went back.
And that's just the ones over 5.0 and over along the Ring of Fire in April of 2016. Now, for the record, there are earthquakes as strong as 3 where I'm sitting. on a regular basis.
Hmm.
Japan gets earthquakes all the friggin' time. They're just par for the course for the day. It's not a good day unless you've had 2 earthquakes. I mean, really, that is how that works.
So, if I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly, you doubt that this is a sign that Nibiru is coming tomorrow.
I guarantee it's a sign that Nibiru is not coming. There is nothing new here.
Okay.
Nothing.
You're just an earthquake denier.
The earthquake denier.
I'm not denying earthquakes. I'm just saying that's not what's causing it. And the only reason we know about more earthquakes than we did ever before is because we actually have people watching for them now. They actually have seismometers everywhere now.
Indeed. Alrighty. I guess I have to hit play now, huh? Alright. Here we go.
Yes.
Didn't wanna. Poor Hill. Yes, lots of disasters. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see if we can skip forward. Let's scrub forward a little bit and see where this crap ends. Because I want to know how he makes that work.
All right, we're at 48 now. Let's just jump up by how about 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
There we go. More. It's more the same. Let's see if it's.
Back then, I correctly predicted that the signs would become more obvious after 2012, leading up to 2020. But I must admit now that it appears I got that timing slightly wrong. I now have good evidence that it will come much earlier than
Okay, see, he got the timing wrong. That's all I got wrong. The timing. That's all.
2020. Earthquakes, volcanoes and wild weather will only get worse as Nibiru approaches. However, the real showstopper comes next. Meteorites.
Oh,
Nibiru
meteorites are about Nibiru. No, there are thousands of things that hit our atmosphere every fucking day.
Indeed.
Most of it the size of a grain of sand.
And what was with that, if you like this channel stuff right in the middle? Because we're not at the end yet. What the hell was that? This is the crappiest editing I've ever seen. This is
which is made up of billions of asteroids and chunks of ice. Some of these objects are as large as Pluto, while others are only the size of a pea. It will also pass through the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter.
Which is very
As Nibiru passes through the Kuiper belt and the asteroid belt, it drags millions of rocks and debris with it, trailing millions of kilometers behind it. As it approaches the Earth, many of the asteroids will be pulled toward the Earth due to gravity. So as a final sign...
Okay, what do you got?
Comets do this on a regular basis. We have 2 meteor showers every year as a result of Halley's Comet.
Indeed, let's see. Anything
in April and October.
Indeed. Alrighty.
It's the Orionids in late October.
Early approach, we will witness mass meteorite showers. However, some of these meteors can weigh as much as 30 kilograms or 65 pounds of solid iron. So when they fall from space and hit the ground, they will explode. It would be like being in the middle of a World War I.
Rock would break up and turn into sand if it didn't just burn up.
Artillery barrage. There could be as much as 1 month of these meteor showers, but they will vary in intensity and in size and duration. Some days will be worse than others. A CIA insider has come forward and revealed that they have been tracking the Nemesis system since the They now know it will swing by.
Okay, what the hell was that? That little gap in the audio. Does this person watch his...
I thought you did it.
No! No, that was just a little period of silence injected in the middle. Hey, this all sounds legit to me. Here we go.
By very, very close to Earth this time, within about 50 million kilometers. Now, that's
Greg.
like a stone's throw in.
Okay.
50 million kilometers is about half the mean distance. Actually, it's not even that. Yeah, 50 million kilometers is about half the mean distance between Earth and the Sun. So we're talking about 4 light minutes. So that actually would put Nibiru inside the asteroid belt. Actually, it would be closer than that. Well, it would be inside the asteroid belt. It would be way on this side. And that would be a huge train wreck in so many ways that I don't even know where to fucking start. Something 4 to 10 times the size of Jupiter getting that close in? Not happening.
And it seems like the trajectory here does not match the trajectory specified in the first video we watched.
Because it isn't. Because none of them have the foggiest idea how to calculate a trajectory. You have to be able to calculate orbit, and they can't. They have no math.
You know, I guess none of this matters, trajectory and all that, since the world's ending tomorrow anyway. We're just nitpicking. So
I'm gonna, you know what? I'll be all nitpicky.
Indeed. And why does he want us to buy his book if the world's ending tomorrow? All right, here we go.
That's because he needs money afterwards.
Of course. All right.
In astrological terms, this is going to cause a pole shift.
No, it
Remember
won't.
how we said the mantle will heat up and become liquid? This will cause the outer crust of the Earth to slip. As Nibiru passes at its closest point, the Earth crust will slip in the direction of Nibiru's gravitational pull. Thus, we can expect the slip will be from the South Pole to the North Pole. So all the landmass of Earth will move at about 1,400 kilometers per second, or 0.86 miles per second, south to north, then abruptly stop. The sudden stop will cause all of the oceans to slosh up, then go back in the opposite direction they came from. That will create a global tsunami of about 700 meters to 3,000 meters high, or 2,296 feet.
You got it.
Click.
All right.
You don't know Jack!
Does that do it, or do you need to add anything?
Here's the simple version. The crust will not just start slipping, because if you did, you would obliterate it, especially at those kinds of speeds. And I want to see you, dipshit. The next thing out of your mouth, it better be the mathematics behind all of this, because if you don't have anything to back this up, I'm just gonna call fucktard, and that's the last thing you want me to do. At this point, Mr. Man, the last thing you need is my complete and undivided fucking attention, moron. Because you're about to get it.
You seem mildly displeased with this person. All right, here we go.
To 9,850 feet high, traveling at 700 meters or half a mile a second. The water will slosh back and forth for several days. In fact, as Nibiru passes, it will stop the Earth's rotation. So one side of the Earth will be in complete darkness for 3 days, and the other side will be in complete sunlight for 3 days.
You know, I'd be kind of interested how that was calculated as well. It's not just you. I find that a little too specific to just.
That's a hell of a prediction, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to see. You know, now I almost want to see it happen.
Yeah.
Because I want to see. I want this prediction tested.
Okay. All right.
It made me want to grab this guy by the hair and just wall repeatedly.
Understand. And this, maybe
He's one of those people that just need to be shaken.
Yeah, we're going to look at the bright side of all this. We're going to be able to tolerate Jaren a lot more now after watching
Yeah,
this.
no shit.
We really are. All right, here we go. We're very close to the end of this. We got like 2 minutes left.
Oh, good.
As Nibiru passes, the Earth will begin to rotate again as per normal. Basically, the Earth is going through a very rare process that will see most of the inhabitants of the planet die as a result of massive Earth changes.
Then why are you selling your book?
It is not the first time this has happened, and it will not be the last.
Exactly.
The ancients knew that, and they tried to warn us. That is why they built their monuments in massive stone blocks.
Right, because you put up some massive stone blocks, the sloshing ocean is going to be held back. Right.
Oh, absolutely.
The reason why so many will die is because they do not want to know.
What?
They do not want to listen. They do not want to...
Okay, so if you listen, the big sloshing ocean is not going to bother you.
Won't kill you.
Okay. See, okay.
Yeah, that...
part.
And we're listening now, so I guess we're all good. All right.
Okay, crypto. I actually probably have to agree. Emma said something that was actually very true. If the Earth's crust slipped like that, just the amount of energy required to stop the Earth's rotation would create huge problems. And where would the energy go? That energy wouldn't go anywhere. It would have no place to go. Enough energy to stop the rotation of the Earth. We're talking about having to come up with a way to get just the crust to stop moving at 1,000 at 1,000 at 100 what is it, 1,000,000 kilometers or 1,000,000 meters per second. Do you have any idea what kind of energy that would take?
Oh, I know the answer. Lots.
Lots. Okay, you want to again? The Earth gets turned into dust.
Hey, if he can use the scientific term sloshing, I can use the scientific term lots. So.
I know, right? I mean, we could actually get to and do those calculations, but I don't want to.
No.
I am actually afraid of that number.
And besides, we should not use good math to verify or debunk crap, and this so far is crap. And I don't think in the last minute, which is what's coming up, it's going to change. So let's see.
Won't.
Of one of the most exciting times in this planet's history.
It's going to be exciting.
The Ascension.
What?
Humans were given a choice, and they chose fear. We all live in a kleptocracy now. It is a term applied to a government.
Wait.
Yeah.
A kleptocracy. This is government by thieves.
Yeah.
Government by thieving.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, John Paul II didn't die until 2005. Thank you. Not in the 1980s. Don't worry, Eric. He didn't die till 2005.
All right. Minute and a half warning. Minute and a half warning. Here we go.
That is in bed with the ruling class, in this case corporations, taking advantage of corruption to extend their personal wealth and political power. Corporate lawyers now write all of our legislation.
Of course.
They write the laws to benefit the corporations, protect them from prosecution, and maximize the ability to make a profit, even at the expense of the people and the environment. This is the world we live in, and most people are happy to turn a blind eye. That is how they got into control in the first place. The world is now so far gone down the corruption path, the self-entitlement mentality path, the selfishness path, the apathy path, and the willful ignorance path that there is no way to bring it back. But not everyone on earth will die. Indeed, for those that do want to know, that do want to listen, that do want to participate, then welcome aboard and keep watching. What the Palladians were telling me that night was, like myself, many others were being asked to not only possess...
What do you got?
Did he say what the Palladians were telling me that night?
I don't know.
Skip back about 15 seconds.
Oh my God.
No, really, I want to hear this.
All right. Here, that's 15 seconds.
If you want to participate, then welcome aboard and keep watching. What the Palladians were telling me that night...
That's what I thought he said. Drake!
Okay.
God damn, finish your fucking bottle. Does anybody know, who here knows anything about the Pleiades? Who here was watching 2 weeks ago when I said something about this?
I want you to refresh everyone's memory.
The Pleiades are an open star cluster. Okay, it's a star cluster that is gradually opening. They're very young stars, less than 1 million years old.
Okay.
And it takes more than 1 million years for life to form, let alone advanced life. Hell, it takes longer than that for planets to form. But we're talking about they're talking about advanced life forms from the Pleiades.
Sounds a little improbable.
A little?
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
20 seconds. Here we go. And then we're going right into the pug. I had enough of this crap. You guys, same?
Go.
Many others were being asked to not only preserve life, but to build a new way of life and to get the message out to as many people as possible. By following their instructions, I could be assured that the second vision, that of happy people in the hills, would be a reality. Your reality, and that of anyone else that cares to join in.
And there we have it. That's the ending. And on that note, good night, everybody.
Ow.
Thanks for... Anybody have any closing comments?
Oh, the level of retarded.
This guy was...
Yeah, absolutely. I would tend to agree. On that note,
we're going for the bug.
Thank you, everybody. And we do apologize for imposing this upon all of you. We'll try not to do it again. The bad man has gone away, fear not. And here comes the pug. Thank you, everybody. Great having you here. And like I said, anybody that's due a myth that hasn't received it yet, let me know. You know where the email address is. Here we go.
Well, I already know how to. I already sent you a message, so
that you did. Got it.
Okay. All right.
All righty. Disturbing that was. Hill, are you alive?
No, he's not. He died.
Emma was right. Nibiru claimed its first.
His friend escaped, and that was the poor guy.
Most disturbing.
Wow, Sai. We really mixed it this time, didn't we? I had to do this without alcohol. Please hit that like button on the way out. We like it when you do that. Go visit my channel. I'm gonna start in on this guy. I gotta do that here someday.
Don't forget to buy my home.
Right. Absolutely.
Or subscribe. Actually, did you know, Sai, that for gaming channels you can actually pay a subscription for them?
Oh yeah, good idea. Hit the like button on the way out. Oh, and don't forget our new kids channel. If anybody has kids that want to do some simple science experiments with them, look up.
My channel, Sewer Cake. My channel is Born Crocus Squirrel. It's exactly what you see on the thing. No, you may not. Yes, I am Lord Crocus Squirrel. I have that name pretty much everywhere. Everywhere the PlayStation Network. I don't know, Spirit, do you know the channel?
Anniversary show. How can I miss that?
I think so, yeah.
Alright, good night all. Thanks again for joining us.